Hello, my name is Aiden, and today me and my friend Plasma are going to rank all the anime that we saw in the 2024 year of anime. I was about to say season, god fucking damn it.
The
But,
year is my favorite season.
but because fall is the lamest season of all, every year, totally trust, that means
Okay.
that we just rank everything that we saw in the year, instead of doing the fall ranking.
Yeah.
This is the most fun Aiden Uncut video I have making just every year, like by far and away.
Peak.
I forgot to do this before we recorded somehow, but I'm gonna edit the tiers just a little bit. I want to have like S plus, A plus, and B plus. S plus is mostly just to differentiate like the 10 out of 10s. Meanwhile,
S is still great.
yeah. And then A plus and B plus are there because most of what we saw were like 7 or 8 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Because surprisingly enough, we actually like anime.
Oh!
Yeah, imagine liking anime. What are we fucking nerds?
Honestly.
Well, yeah, we also have the wheel. This is my favorite part of these videos. The wheel makes everything so fucking exhilarating. So, yeah, let's give this little guy a spin.
Which isekai are we gonna get now?
It's where most of these are isekai.
Oh shit!
Wait, a non-isekai? The Apothecary Diaries. Yeah, cause like, I'll give like my opinion real quick, cause I have less to say than I know you will. Basically, my opinion of it boiled down to it's not really for me. I didn't quite get the hype as much as everyone else did, but I know that you really enjoyed it, so I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let you yap on this one.
I really enjoyed this show. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect too much from it at first. It just looked kind of cool. So I decided to give it a watch. And well, I was very pleasantly surprised. I mean, Mao Mao is, I really love her character. I think I have her on my favorites. I don't remember. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Mama was really fun.
She kind of makes this anime. I'll be real. She does kind of carry it. Jinshi, he's obviously he's entertaining, but definitely not as what's it called? As good as Mamo. And honestly, I think there's quite a few decent characters. But like apart from Mamo, there's not like an incredible character. And I feel like that's the only way the story kind of suffers, is that like apart from a lot of the characters feel alright. But one thing that's great is that I feel like everyone has something to bring. Even the characters that you don't see as much, they still differentiate themselves from all the other ones. So whenever a side character does come, it's gonna be something different than if they weren't there. So
And I will say the main lead who accompanies Mao Mao, I forget his name, Jinshi.
yeah,
He's super fun.
he is. He
Like,
is.
because I'm a big romance guy. Some of my favorite moments in the series were related to just him, the goofy antics of him being attracted
Yeah.
to the only woman who doesn't find him attractive.
I did give him enough credit. Now that I'm thinking about it, he's a great character. I mean,
Like yeah, because he has those necessary story moments, of course, but just the goofy comedy shit was some of my favorite parts of the Apothecary Diaries.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, obviously, I don't want to spoil too much, if in case you haven't watched it, but there are some great moments in the show. Momo's a genius, kind of, and it's fun to see her solve mysteries, because I've always quite liked these, like, small, like, anime where they solve many small mysteries, kind of like Hyuka.
Yeah, it's like a modern Hyoka in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I like it. That I think that's what got me initially to really like it, and then it never fell off. Really, in my opinion, it never really fell off
Yeah,
throughout the season.
I feel like for
Even
me,
though it was a 24-episode season, it didn't feel like it fell off. In fact, I think you could make a case that it actually
it got
better
better.
as the season progressed. Yeah.
like those
So,
last couple of episodes near the end were definitely some of the highlights.
mm-hmm.
And then
In terms of,
I don't know. I feel like the main issue that I had was just I was comparing it to Hyoka too much. I was like,
fair enough, and it's like you're comparing it to a goat right there. So,
because
like,
Hyoka is a goat. Very few
Yeah.
anime can really compare to Hyoka, in my opinion.
Mhm. I feel like in a way it's got a similar dynamic that K-On! And Butcher the Rock have
Yeah.
for Book 3 Diaries and Hyuga. But I think Book 3 Diaries very much holds its own. So I'd put it in honestly I could either A plus or S.
All right. I think we'll go A plus just to have somewhat of a
Yeah,
middle
because
ground.
I know you didn't like it too much, so we'll average it out.
Because
We'll
for
give
me,
it
it's
A
like a
plus.
B tier series, which seems harsh.
Yeah, fair enough.
But again, that's one of my hot takes this year that a lot of people aren't going to enjoy hearing from me.
Oh, we've got more to come.
I have a lot of hot takes, unfortunately. I hate having hot takes queued too, because it makes the comment section fucking insufferable.
Yeah, if you don't like any anime that we rate, if you love an anime that we rate low, then not my problem.
Exactly. The wheel, baby! I love this part.
Yeah!
the wheel is legit one of the best parts.
Oh, which one is it? Isekai!
I think I remember the poster for this one. Which one was it? It's this one, right?
Yeah, there you go. He's getting better! He's becoming an isekai! I mean...
I randomly, started improvising having a mal tab open.
Yeah. It's actually helpful for me, because I gotta remember what's going on. It was actually, among isekai, it wasn't actually that bad. It had its gimmick, which was the guy's a healer, trains to become hella buff and fast, and stuff like that. He's actually like, healer is really, really rare. And I think he got like summoned to the other world on accident. Yeah, it says it in the fucking...
I mean, the title makes it sound like the most generic shit imaginable.
It is. It's not like bad. It's just not good either. There's not much to say about it. I mean, so honestly, the Rose character, she's actually pretty funny sometimes. Main character, and then the other ones, they're okay. In terms of tier, I'd put it in like D tier.
Damn.
C.
Oh, C. I thought I heard that as D.
No. Among isekai, it's not that bad, but.
Let me spin the wheel again. Again, my favorite part.
Alright, what we got? Blue Archive!
Yeah, Blue Archive. I was actually pretty excited for this one, because I haven't played Blue Archive, the game, nor do I ever think I will, because I just don't like gacha games. I think they're inherently predatory.
You like having a bank account, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very, very money-conscious person in general. So I can't bring myself to play any gacha games. The thing... So I was really excited, though, because, like, this would give me, like, an accessible way to experience the story, and I see Blue Archive posting everywhere online. So I was like, oh, okay. I get to finally see what the hype is about. The show is very fucking boring. Like, very boring. I think the big issue for me is that this very obviously isn't a story that can be told in 12 episodes, I feel. Or maybe I'm just getting the wrong things out of it. The anime definitely feels more like a plot-heavy series, but like it's a gacha game adaptation. It should be character focused. Like the characters are the appeal of something like this, right?
Yeah.
I think the character designs in Blue Archive are consistently absolutely fucking excellent. I mean, there's a reason why it's as popular as it is. But I found the characters to be really boring from a personality perspective. I didn't really get that much out of them. I think like the most memorable character was Serika. Had a moment in like episode 2.
Season 2 is crazy.
I mean, like from a personality perspective, she really does just boil down to the tsundere. She has twin tails, guys. She's the tsundere. Do you get it? And then I mean, there was another like faction that formed like halfway through that I thought had some potential for really fun dynamics, but again, since the series doesn't focus as much as on like the character stuff, the series would have been better if it like leaned more into like the CGDCT aspects, in my opinion, but it didn't really. And I think it's boring as a result. Yeah, I rated this a 5, but because I dropped it, and this is gonna sound really harsh. I know it's gonna sound harsh, but I think D tier, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're not off to a good start when it comes to pissing off the comments section.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. If you're that pissed about someone's opinion on anime, some random guy on the internet, then you have a problem.
Oh, fuck. We are really gonna piss people off with this opinion. I like Classroom of the Elite. Fucking kill me.
Yeah. Classroom of the Elite is incredible. Incredible is a stretch. It's very good.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite go into incredible, but man, I just have so much fun watching it.
Yeah.
And like, the main reason for that is because Ayano Koji hard carries fucking everything.
Oh, for sure.
Because like
you've got Ayano Koji surrounded by waifus, and it's incredible.
Exactly.
That's all you need. I mean, what else do you need?
And honestly, I think this might be my favorite season of the series. Actually, season 2 was a little better than this. But season 3 was really strong too.
Season 3 was great, but season 2 was better. But I think season 3 did a very good job. I think it's gonna set up season 4, which is second year, up very well.
Yeah, and like I'm actually kind of curious about how they're gonna handle the second year arc. Apparently there's rumors that JC staff is gonna animate it, which means that there's potential that it won't be nearly as rushed. I call those rumors a bunch of bullshit. It's probably gonna be handled by the same people.
I agree. I'm actually considering to read this.
Yeah, I should read the light novel, and the reason why is because I can guarantee if I like the anime as much as I do, I'm gonna like the light novel way more.
Yeah, I did hear that Ayano Koji, because there's the anime, the manga, and the light novel. Apparently, he's different in all three. I don't remember the specifics, but I remember getting told that he's different in all three, and I'm interested, so I'll probably read it from the beginning, even if reading. But I read a lot. So.
Yeah, because like the main hook for Classroom of the Elite, beyond just like the surface level, the psychological wars are cool and shit like that, is seeing Ayano Koji develop. Because I mean, just like Ayano Koji is a basically a sociopath, and yet because of his tragic backstory, you're always rooting for him to go, hey, get some humanity, dude. I'm really rooting for you.
And then he's got a fucking cute girl, like, saying, basically, advertising that she likes him, but he's too much of a sociopath to even care.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, because, like, the thing is that no matter what Ayano Koji does from, like, a manipulative standpoint, it never makes him happy.
Yeah.
And, like, the main thing I want watching Classroom of the Elite is for Ayano Koji to just find happiness. I don't even really know if I'd consider him a likable character necessarily, but he's a very rootable character. One of the most rootable characters of any anime I've seen.
I feel like instead of likable, he's kind of like, you admire him instead. He kind of instead of like presenting himself as someone that you'd like, because he doesn't. He doesn't really have a personality. You end up, because of what he can do and what he has shown to do, you end up like being like, fucking hell, this guy is cool. What else can he do? And then you want to see what happens next. See, is he gonna get a personality? Because like right now it looks like he could never get one. But at the same time, I feel like you can see that there's a sliver of hope. It's starting to shift. So I think that's what ends up making me love the anime as much as I do.
Yeah, like I really I really enjoyed season 3, and of course it has the usual issues that Classroom Elite has, and just it like this season in particular was very obvious how rushed it was, even from an anime only perspective, like very much so. Like that first like training camp arc or whatever it was, I think it was like 2 episodes, and it very obviously seemed like it should have been more.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I still really enjoyed it. The showdown of Sakai and Nagi was great. It's something that had been foreshadowed for a while, and the payoff was good. I did not leave it underwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd be pissed because spoilers. There was some intervention in the chess game. Intervention did happen. I thought I'd get pissed by that, but in reality, I wasn't actually that annoyed by it, even though I normally would. I kind of just want to see the next time that they have like a showdown and see if there's no interaction, who's gonna win.
Yeah. But I think that's all I have to say, because I want to do more of I wanted to do more of like a Cliff Notes version of my opinions, because we do have the other video. I would personally put it in like low A tier.
Yeah, I can back that.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean low A tier. It's like it would be like in the middle of A tier, for me.
Yeah.
I remember we put it on an S tier last time because the winter season was genuinely really weak. So we had to we had to put something in S tier. So we were like, fuck it, Classroom Elite.
That thumbnail was crazy. Fucking free rent below Classroom of the Elite.
Yeah. Like, people got fucking pissed at that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back into the...
What season is this one? This is kind of...
You may as well discuss both seasons, honestly.
Yeah, I might as well. Okay, so, season 1 is only the first core. Sorry, second core.
Yeah.
And, the second season is only the first core. We're still in the middle of, season 2. Season 1, part 2, so I'm gonna confuse myself sometimes, between the two, but this, I really liked. It was like good isekai. It was like, to me, this is like what Sword Art Online should have been post Aincrad arc. It's like, if it had kept its charm, I think it would be like something similar-ish to this. The character interactions are great. The main character is quite funny. And the characters surrounding him are also pretty funny. But the main part about season 1 part 2 was the big fight scene that happened was fucking sick, because it was like one massive fight and the main character is a fucking beast at video games. And one of the best bits is at the end we discover that boss was meant to be unbeatable. Like, so defeating that boss progresses the story, but the story wasn't prepared to progress. So it leaves season 2 to happen. Season 2 so far hasn't had much happen. Honestly, I kind of dislike season 2 quite a bit more than season 1 part 2, because I mean, obviously nothing's really happened, but I assume that something will happen soon enough. Um, I hope so. Because right now nothing's really happening. I mean, for a bit they weren't even in the game that the anime's named after. They were in some other game, which, to be fair, at the end you realize that it does have some plot relevance. Because someone in that other game has information on the main game. But I think spending 3 episodes was a bit annoying. I think the only reason that I can see it being a good thing is that it kind of cements the main character as like really fucking good at video games, because he manages to take like second rank in the game that he doesn't even main. He's just like plays it casually sometimes. Um, so it's a bit weaker than season 1 part 2, but it's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's just a bit boring right now. So in terms of tiers, I put season 1. Yeah, is that season 1? Yeah. B plus, and then the next part in B.
Sounds good. Look at how relatively evenly displayed our tier list is.
Alright.
Don't worry, guys. B and B plus is gonna become way more bloated later.
No. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll an S plus and an S tier anime. Then we're gonna get free rent, and we have to put it in F tier.
Exactly. That's the joke, by the way. Yes, the video that I made a video, the anime that I made a video about.
The video I made the video one.
The magical girl and the evil lieutenant used to be arch enemies. Why is the title so fucking long? God damn it! This isn't a light novel adaptation. Well, yeah, the anime was pretty good. I liked it a lot. Of course, I made the video about it. I feel like the main reason I made the video was mostly because of the story behind it being so interesting. Less so than the series itself being like a masterpiece, because it's not a masterpiece. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it. It's a very simple romance between, of course, an evil big bad and a magical girl. And while not much is done with that concept due to the fact that the mangaka died before the story could truly come into fruition, what is there is really funny, really wholesome, really cute, and the episodes are only 12 minutes long too, so like I could definitely see myself rewatching this in a couple of years just to have like something cute to watch that wouldn't take up too much time. And then, in terms of an adaptation too, this is a really good adaptation. I read the manga, and the anime decides to have a couple anime original episodes that weren't in the manga, and those episodes, while not advancing the plot really, they're just cute. They're fun. So I definitely say, compared to the premise being as good as it is, that the anime itself isn't as strong as it could have been. But fuck, man, I really enjoyed it. I know A tier is probably too high for it, but I think it's A tier.
Fair enough, it's your ranking.
Yeah. Wheel time!
I'm really excited.
I almost had a moment where I was like, oh no, not the fucking But yeah, we gotta talk about fucking Peak instead. Holy shit, ReZero Season 3 has been so fucking good. It's been fucking amazing. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Cause like I am a massive fucking ReZero fan, just in general. Series is amazing. And Season 3 is not disappointed whatsoever. Like, this is one of the most Chad anime crews of all time. Not only do they extend episodes, giving up on advertising money to do so, not only do they skip the opening like every other episode, so they can get as much content in as possible, but this season in particular will be 2 cores and will be 16 episodes on both cores. That shit's fucking unheard of.
Okay, now.
Like, ReZero is one of the most cared for adaptations I've seen in my life, which somewhat makes up for the fact that we don't only get a new season every election cycle. Like, the fucking wait for ReZero seasons is ridiculous, but it's worth it. It really is. Because they are that good. What I liked so much about Season 2 was how it developed Subaru's character, because Season 1 was mostly focused on, like, setting up what to expect generally with ReZero, along with sort of showcasing all the characters and all the world building, to give you a feel for what the world is like, and it does a very good job at that. Season 2 is about taking the less likable aspects of Subaru, the aspects of himself that he needs to mature, and actually allowing him to mature. Because while Season 1 is more of like a plot-focused series, and since Season 1 is more plot-focused, it means that some of the aspects like Subaru never being able to like truly die and stuff are bigger issues. But in Season 2 is able to negate that based on the fact that it's a character study season focused on developing Subaru, and Season 2 is, in my opinion, the best content of ReZero as a result of that. Because Subaru is one of my favorite characters in any anime ever. He is just the absolute gold standard for what should be expected from a protagonist in its development. Because, like, Subaru isn't always likable. He doesn't always make the right decisions, but somehow that makes him feel more human. The fact that he makes some really big fuck-ups, and some really embarrassing ones at that. Because, like, everyone knows about, like, the part in, like, Season 1 with the royal selection, where he fucking White Knight simps Amelia, and it's the most embarrassing shit imaginable.
Yeah, I can't lie, that shit made me drop it.
Yeah. Which I think is a shame, because the development that he goes through later is the best anime development I've ever seen, bar none. Like, straight up, I think Subaru is, like, genuinely a contender for greatest anime protagonist ever written. Yeah, legitimately. I am not kidding.
Wow. Interesting.
That's not the... And granted, just because I think Subaru is one of the greatest anime characters of all time, it doesn't necessarily mean that I think that the series itself is perfect. One issue I think it has is that it can get really exposition-y sometimes, which means that there are certain chunks where it can get pretty fucking boring. Like, my favorite aspects are like the character development aspects, but my other favorite aspects are the suspension built off of finding out how Subaru will be able to get out of the issue that he's in without growing insane. Because I actually disagree with the criticism that ReZero, that there's no stakes brought by the fact that Subaru is technically immortal. Because...
That's a lie. I don't even have to watch all of it to know that. That's a lie.
Yeah, because there is stakes in ReZero, and the stakes aren't necessarily, will Subaru make it past this, because he will. I mean, he is technically immortal, so the real stakes come in through the fact of, will he be able to do this without fucking immense mental scars? And that's what makes ReZero compelling, because Subaru repeatedly has to go through some of the most traumatic bullshit that any anime protagonist faces, some of the most gruesome fucking deaths imaginable. And, like, it tears with him mentally, and that's what makes his struggles so captivating. The fact that he is able to get back up on his feet and find a way to surpass those odds regardless. One thing that I think is interesting about ReZero is how there are certain if routes that the creator makes based off of, like, the 7 deadly sins, based on certain periods where Subaru could have made the wrong decision. I think one of the most notable ones is the sloth route, where where he decides to live a separate life with Rem, disconnected from everything, basically meaning that he's letting everyone else that he cares about out to die. But of course, the Subaru in the anime doesn't have that happen. Rem instead tells him, "Hey bro, you got all these friends that are about to die, fucking do this shit." And I think one of the most admirable aspects of ReZero has to be the way in which Subaru kind of is forced to go through this character development based on the fact that, like, everyone he loves and cares about is always at risk of dying at every turn, which means that he has to put himself out there and grow as a person mentally and from a maturity standpoint in order to do the things that he wants to do. And I think one of the greatest showcases of that development actually came in from this season, because this is the season. Because, like, the main, like, big bad organization of ReZero are the Archbishops, which are based off of the 7 Deadly Sins, and then, so, Season 1, has Subaru fighting an Archbishop, but Season 2, lacks Archbishops as a result of the fact that it's a character development season, as opposed to, like, suspense fight scene focused season. Season 3 is very fight heavy, which kind of seems like it would be like a knock against it given what ReZero is typically known for. But man, this arc has been fucking exhilarating. Some of the most entertaining, suspenseful shit ever, from the fact that it is a more shonen-like season compared to what ReZero is typically known for. And the because, like, in this one, fucking almost all the Archbishops show up. Which means that the stakes are higher than they've ever been for the series. And, it also means that the characters are under the biggest amount of just general fear, that they've been. And, one of my favorite moments in this season was when Subaru has to give out a speech to all the people in the town, letting them know that they're okay. Something that he absolutely would not have been able to do before his development in Season 2. Just. Because not only does the season do a great job at showcasing just how much more mature Subaru has become, but it also does a great job at just continuing off the fun, thrilling, suspenseful vibes that we were able to get more of in Season 1 compared to Season 2. So I'd say that this isn't my favorite season of ReZero, but it has definitely been the most fun season of ReZero to actually watch. So yeah, and of course, I wouldn't quite give it an S+ tier. I don't think ReZero is perfect by any means, but I think it's S tier. Just, I love ReZero so fucking much. I glazed it so... I fucking nerded out for ages, man. I can talk about ReZero forever. This is genuinely a favorite of mine. Anyway, let's get back to the wheel.
Ooh.
Alright, looks like I am yapping more.
Yeah.
Kimi ni Todoke Season 3. It seems like Mal is having a brain fart moment. Let me grab a water. But yeah, I might also get super autistic about this one as well, because I'm a really big fan of Kimi ni Todoke. Like, I'd say overall, it's probably my favorite shoujo romance. It's kind of in close competition for me, though, because I also am a really big fan of My Little Monster, which is another really good shoujo romance. But Kimi ni Todoke is great, too. Because, like, Season 1 was focused on, like, establishing stuff, all the general character development shit that you'd expect. Season 2 was focused on getting the confession in, which... As a result, I think Season 2 is probably the best season. Season 3 is very good. Because it was a Netflix batch release, where everything was put out at once, it means that I unfortunately don't really remember the season that well, because that is how binging works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really did enjoy this season a lot. Because even though they've confessed, even though they're a couple, they still have to deal with like the awkward first steps of being in a relationship, and it makes for some really compelling character drama. And like in some ways it can be like, oh, this is kind of tedious. Why aren't they talking this shit out? But at the same time, these are high schoolers, so like it doesn't. So like it works. And of course, one of the biggest strengths of Kimi ni Todoke, in my opinion, as well, is the fact that is how Sawako's friend group is handled and the character development that they have. Both of her friends end up getting really good development on their own romantic subplots, which I think are really well handled as well. And keep the story keep the story fresh, right? If it was just Sawako and Kazehaya, then it wouldn't be nearly as compelling as it is. But because we have Sawako's friend group that also has stuff going on in their life as well, it makes for good shit. So I hate that I don't remember this one as well, as much as I should. I really wish I had more to talk about. Because, like, I should have talked about it in the summer video, but because it was an ONA instead of a TV series, I just completely forgot about mentioning it in the last video. Again, as an anime fan, I am not used to anything Netflix. So, I know my talk of it was very brief, but that is not a knock against the series at all. It is definitely an A tier. I'd say probably the top of A tier for me, honestly. I really, really enjoyed it.
Fair enough.
I don't think I can quite put it in A+, though, because if I could put it in A+, then I would have remembered more of it. Alright, next up.
With time.
Oh my god, it's just gonna be me yapping the entire time. 365 days until the wedding, or Kekkon surete honto desu ka, if you, because I'm actually, because I'm learning Japanese, I was like, oh, I actually know all the words for this, for the Japanese title. That's pretty fucking dope, because they all showed up they all showed up in my Anki deck, So, I have mixed feelings on this one. Before I get into the show itself, I should get into, like, the background of it. So, this show was created by the same person who created The World God Only Knows, which, I'm just gonna be blunt, is a much better series than this.
Oh.
But, I mean, you can kind of tell, just immediately, the male MC has pretty much has like the exact same look of Keima, honestly, just his glasses are bigger and his hair is poofier. Otherwise, he is just Keima. Which, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Keima has one of my favorite character designs ever. Meanwhile, I mean, Ohara looks fine, just the character designs in the series are a lot more fine compared to... Because The World God Only Knows is, like, a supernatural harem series. It's very over-the-top, which means that the character designs are very over-the-top. They're very fun to look at. This series has very boring character designs as a result of the fact that, like, it's a very grounded series that takes place in reality with no supernatural elements. Generally, the basic plot of the series, though, is, so, like, the main characters, Honjoji and Ohara are work at this company. The company is gonna do, like, a trip thing, oh man, burp. So the company's gonna do, like, a vacation thing where one of the people is gonna have to vacation somewhere else, and the main two characters because they are both just generally introverted, or like, nope, don't want to do that. But the catch is, they don't have to go on that train if they are married. So they decide, okay, we're gonna marry right away without knowing each other. Which results
like
in some
web
funny
novel.
quirkiness of the two characters barely knowing each other before they marry. Let's ignore the fact that Tony Kaku Kawaii does this better.
This feels like the most web novel shit ever. like I haven't read them too many personally, but I can tell you I've seen at least 15 web novels that have this exact same premise.
Oh man. Yeah, I'd say I have mixed feelings on the series itself. On one hand, I can relate to it a lot. The main two characters, I'm not 100% sure about Oharu, but Honjoji is like 1000% on the autism spectrum. So as someone who is autistic myself, I could definitely relate to just some of the general nervousness, people not perceiving my social anxiety as anxiety. They just think I'm cold. And then also just the general lack of understanding for why people get so why random normies get so excited for other people's marriages. That's just fucking weird. Why are people like that? But on the other hand, because the two characters are introverted and have little to no social skills, it also means that watching their relationship progress on a snail's fucking pace is extraordinarily fucking frustrating. Like, these characters are adults. They should be able to handle their own fucking shit. I will say, though, I overall like it more than I do, and I'd say that's very much a biased thing, because I can't relate to it a lot. Otherwise, I'd probably give it like a C tier, but I am just willing to be forgiving enough toward it to give it a B tier. I will say, though, I think I will check out the manga, too, because they're finally becoming more of like an actual couple close to the end of the series. Yeah, it's taking that long. So I'm like, I may as well read the manga. Because I read the World God Only Knows too. I am interested in seeing what like the actual original manga looks like compared to the anime. Because production wise, the anime looks honestly kind of bad. Which makes me think that the original manga probably looks quite a bit better. Like, even the poster for the manga looks quite a bit better than the anime.
They probably spent all their budget getting Honeyworks to do their OP.
Oh yeah, that is true. Also, the goated casting too. Salary Hayami voices Honjoji, which was perfect casting.
She's a fucking goat.
Exactly. She's one of my favorite voice actresses. She does a great job at voicing awkward, socially inept characters. And yeah, I mean, her voicing Honjoji is like probably the only reason to pick up the anime over the manga. All right, let's get on to the next one, baby. God damn it, it's just gonna be me yapping the entire time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Later on, it's just gonna be me yapping.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have nothing left.
Yeah, exactly. But, one thing I will say, Beastars is one of my favorite anime of all time, and as a result, yeah, duh, S+. Like, I'm not even gonna entertain, like, the tension of it. Beastars is one of my favorite anime ever made. I'm an avid manga reader as well. I've read the manga twice. I've watched the anime. I've watched the first and second season twice as well. I think I've watched the first season like 3 times, actually. And this third season lives up to the hype. I will say, because this is a 24-episode final season that needs to cover basically half of the manga, a lot of shit gets cut, or reorganized. However, honest to God, the final season still works really well. And of course, this is part 1. Second chord, yeah. No idea when that's coming out.
Never.
But yeah, but honest to God, it works really well. I think that, that this is a really, really strong adaptation, especially considering that it has all the cards stacked against it. Like, there are some scenes, too, that are, like, very wildly different from the manga, and yet I was still like, wait, they were actually able to pull that off really well. And, of course, there are a couple missed opportunities. There's a character named Seven, who we
Like the
get
number.
introduced to, yeah. She's, like, a sheep. The interspecies relations arc, which is what season 3 starts with, actually starts with introducing her before getting into like what Lego she's doing. And I think that's one thing that the original mangaka Paru Itagaki does really well, in my opinion, and because she's very good at world building. And while the anime is able to keep a lot of like the really interesting world building aspects, I think the manga is much better at world building than the anime is, because the anime had to cut out a lot of those smaller world building moments. And like another big part of season 3, that another big part of the arc as well is like Legoshi living in an apartment complex and having all these roommates. The roommates actually got to do things in the manga, and yet in the anime they just straight up don't show up. Like, don't get me wrong, they aren't relevant to the plot at all. But not only do they give a good bit of world building, but they also help showcase a bit of like Legoshi's overall maturity, which I think is very important. Because like ultimately, what makes Beastars as compelling as it is Legoshi. Legoshi is, Legoshi is straight up my second favorite anime character of all time. He is the reason why I love Beastars as much as I do. And just because like everything involving his development, learning to control his carnivore instincts, trying to find out what he thinks is a good person, all those things. It's what makes Beastars as strong of a series as it is for me. And it helps as well that like Legoshi and his character arc are all things that I can very much relate to myself. I think that just in general, beautiful character, beautiful series, and yeah, just absolute masterpiece. If you can get past like the furry aspect, then you're in for something just absolutely fucking brilliant. Anyway, wheel time.
Yeah, me holding the urge to call you furry. Ha 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 ha.
Lamau XD. It's just gonna be me, isn't it?
What the heck? I can't hear you, by the way. What the heck?
Oh fuck, this happens quite a lot on Discord, where I have the... Alright, I reconnected,
Wait.
So...
Are you speaking right?
Yeah, I am now speaking. I'm speaking right now.
Okay, good.
Alright.
I can hear you.
Yeah, Discord has been giving me that problem lately where like it just has me cut out for whatever reason. I don't think it's an internet problem. My internet's fine. Why, I don't get it. Oh yeah, Rouse.
Yeah, once again, I think more yapping.
Yeah, more yapping. But yeah, I didn't finish Urusei Yatsura second season, and the main reason for that was mostly just because it's like it's an episodic comedy, and I had so many other shit I was watching that season as well, because like spring was a very stacked season where I had way too much fucking shit on my plate, which meant that I had to cut something. And even though this is a good show, it's a good comedy, I didn't end up finishing it. But yeah, I mean the biggest, because like there's no character development or anything in Urusei Yatsura. It is purely a comedy, and it's a pretty good comedy. The jokes are consistently quite funny. There's a lot of characters to prevent the series from getting boring, because every episode will always focus on something different. It really works as a comedy. Like having, and like the comedy is also based on like convoluted love triangle dynamics as well, which I think makes for some really fun interactions. So there's I really don't have that much to say. It's a solid B tier series. I guess it's the bottom of B tier because I did technically drop it. But it's still a good series, and if I didn't have so much I was watching that season, then I wouldn't have dropped it because it is a good show. Anyway, next up. Oh my fucking god, it's just gonna be... I mean, to be fair, I did watch more than you did,
Yeah, true.
this year,
once.
But like, this is like the fifth straight anime in a row.
Yeah, I'd beat you up. Yeah.
But yeah, Uzumaki has a very, very low rating on Mal. Personally, I don't quite think it's that bad. It's not that bad. The first episode was
You
really
rated it lower than the average score, lad.
Yeah, because like the I think that I thought that the first episode was really good. It did a really good job of like building up that level of suspense. Granted, I do very much understand why it got the hate that it did, and by the end of it, I kind of ended it going, "What? Huh?" As my main emotions. Because like the horror of the series is built upon the artwork being good, and the art's generally solid. I love how they stick to like that really unique black and white art style throughout all of it. It makes the show very visually distinct. However, episodes 2 through 4 look like complete dog shit animation-wise.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I think my brother told me that they had like hentai animators working on those episodes. Yeah, and I don't quite think the animation was nearly as bad on episodes 3 and 4, but episode 2 looked so just bafflingly dog shit that, yeah, it did kind of kill the hype for the series for me. I'd say that my favorite episode story-wise was probably episode 3. It was, like, the only one that got close to getting me, like, somewhat of a scare. Because I'll be honest, as a horror series, this wasn't that scary. And I generally... I've learned over the years to actually start appreciating horror, because the beauty of horror is how it's able to remind you of, like, your primal instincts of fear. Which is an emotion that generally I don't really get to feel all that much, because, I mean, humans in general live far more comfortable lives than they did back in, like, the Stone Age. When we were Steve, I yearn for the mines. I had to make a yearn for the mines joke sometime. Honestly, the more I talk about it, yeah, maybe it does deserve its rating. I'm changing my rating from a 5 to a 4.
God damn.
Because
That
like,
is a vile.
here's the thing: if it's a horror series that didn't really scare me that much, then is it even like average? I'd say no. It's just kind of bad.
I mean, it can be a good series as bad at being a horror series.
Yeah, I mean, because like the thing is that's not really a good series too, because the plot's all over the place. And I know that's the point of the original manga, right? The fact that the plot makes no sense. That's where it gets its horror from. Yeah, that's the thing with Uzumaki, because like the only real thing that it has going for it is the horror, and yet it's not scary. Because the animation looks like fucking dog shit. So yeah, I imagine that the original manga is much better than this. But yeah, this series sucks. D tier. I did not expect to put it D tier before I started talking about it, But yeah, this is D tier. It's fucking dog shit.
Better than Free Run though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, way better than Free Run. All right, you're finally able to yap.
Okay.
Guys, it's the Bling Bom Bom Born series.
So, this series, yeah. Honestly, at first I wasn't gonna watch it. Season 1, in my opinion, was absolute dog shit. So I genuinely I don't know why. I decided to watch it, but I'm fucking glad I did, because I don't know what happened with season 1, but they really stepped it up with season 2, because I think season 1 was really unserious, but the problem was they were trying to drift between serious and unserious and trying to make them both work at the same time, and they just did it really poorly, and it felt like nothing was happening. Yeah, season 1 I really disliked. But then season 2, they more or less ditched the comedy. It's not fully gone, but they tried to commit more to the serious side of the show, and I think it was really good. The fights were pretty interesting. The plot was actually getting quite decent. I was actually kind of excited to watch, believe it or not, because I think the stakes are getting higher, so you kind of have to make the story serious, and they focused on the plot. And the plot's not that bad. It's actually it's a decent plot. So honestly, I'd say it was one of if not the biggest surprise I had this entire year. Because it was a series I went in thinking it was going to be absolute balls. But it was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna what's it called? Spoil too much. Because I mean, if you like the magic fantasy sort of stuff, I think you should watch it. And genuinely, you could probably skip season 1. I mean, I guess you miss a little bit of world building, and like you're a little bit clueless as to what's going on. But like, if you get like a summary of season 1, you could probably just skip it. So, for that reason, I will give it a low 8. I'm looking forward to season 3.
I'm low-key kind of surprised that A tier has been consistently the most bloated tier of this video.
Yeah, I think it's gonna change soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, because like usually the most bloated tier is B.
Yeah.
Or B+. I'm surprised by the low amount of B+ and A+ we've had so far. Next up on the wheel. Why did I say it like that?
Oh no. Okay.
Shika noko 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 kosh tan tan. Shika noko 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 kosh tan tan. Alright, I'm gonna stop. The memes leading up to this series were so fucking goated.
They were, to be fair.
But like, the discussion around the show and the hype surrounding it was like significantly better than the show itself actually ended up being.
Oh.
This is often compared to Nichijou, and which is why I'm kind of surprised that I watched it, because, hot take, I don't like Nichijou. I think Nichijou is fucking boring. Which, that is probably the hottest take of this video, probably even hotter than me putting Free Run in F tier. Guys, it's not for the memes. I actually think Free Run is the worst anime ever made. Totally not a joke.
Free Run wishes it could be cheat skill, but it ends up doing too much, and now it's F2.
Yeah, because the cheat skill is the greatest anime ever made. Did you include it in the template?
No.
We gotta do that next time.
I could have done that. That was my fault. I just assume that the audience would know, because if they don't, then they shouldn't be watching.
Exactly. You mean you gotta know that Cheat Skill is the greatest anime ever made.
Exactly.
But I mean, but I will say I did enjoy Nokutan more than Nichijou, and I think the reason for that was because it leans into just how fucking batshit crazy it is a lot more.
Yeah, I can see it by the image.
Yeah, which it leads to a series that, like, at the very least, is consistently amusing. However, as a comedy, it's kind of funny. It's not really as funny as I feel like it should be. It kind of underwhelmed me. The best parts of the series were A, gawking at how ridiculously fucking unhinged the plots were, which, again, always, at the very least, kept me interested and amused. And B, Yuri, I guess. So yeah, outside of that, though, I mean, it's a fine series. It's gonna sound, I know it's gonna sound harsh, and F-Dog's gonna fucking hate that I'm giving it this rating, but, where is it? It's a C tier.
I think one time he messaged me saying that the OP was actually kind of catchy. And like, at first, I listened to it, I was like, no, he's lying. I'm not gonna lie, it is actually kind of catchy. I'm more, like, I hate, nothing makes me more pissed off than to say, it's kind of catchy.
I love the Nokotan OP. It's so much fucking fun. The OP is like way better than the actual show.
I hate to say it, it's actually fun.
Yeah. Because, like, that's the thing with the OP, because, like, as a song, it's not the greatest song ever, but it's so fucking clear just how much fun the VAs are having with it.
Yeah, I could just hear it in my head. Noko, 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 noko. It's just replaying in my head.
Oh, man.
I haven't even watched the show, but it's still in my head.
Probably because I was hyping up the OP so much.
I think someone sent me a playlist of like spooky playlists, and it's just 100 Nokutan.
Again, the memes and hype around this series were better than the actual series itself.
Yeah.
Wheel time. Alright, I guess I am,
Back.
Alright, A Condition Called Love. The series was fine. Okay, the best part of the series is that Hotaru was voiced by Kana Hanazawa, by far. I think it's funny, unlike the first or second episode, I recognized, I heard her voice and was like, I swear to God, that sounds like Kana Hanazawa, so I had to check, like, mid-episode to make sure that I wasn't crazy. And I was like, oh shit, it is Kana Hanazawa. Yeah, she's one of the GOAT VAs.
Yes.
I don't think I have her on my favorites list, so I'm just gonna do that real quick.
If I do.
There we go. That's more interesting than anything I will possibly be able to say about this series, that's for sure.
Oh, fuck.
But I mean, the show it's decent. The main girl doesn't really understand love. The main guy romanticizes the idea of love to an obsessive degree. And the two try to form a bond despite that. They're both, I'd say generally the main two characters have their hearts in the right place. However, I will say Hananoi, the main guy, low-key, if he was fat, then or unattractive, then the show would be perceived in a much different way. The dude is fucking creepy as shit. Like, and, like, that's kind of the point of the series, the fact that he takes, like, these ridiculous grand gestures, while also getting, like, ridiculously cleany. That is part of his character development, his arc, to learn to be less like a fucking Discord moderator. But, like, dude, you look like a fucking supermodel, you should be over this shit. It just feels so unrealistic. Like, no way in real life would someone who looks like Hananoi act in the way that he does.
No, but he could have done a Rudius, you know what I mean? Like reincarnated.
Oh yeah, the reincarnation plot. If you think about it that way, the series, honest to God, becomes significantly better. Like, every action that Hananoi does suddenly becomes super understandable, and his development and character arc suddenly becomes significantly more compelling based on the fact that he's a reincarnation of a Discord moderator.
No, wait. It's the one anime where it being an isekai would have been better.
Literally. Like, this show would have been better if it was an isekai. That is... I hate that I'm saying that, but it's fucking true. I mean, like... Generally, though, I mean, like, the romance moments are fine. They're decent. I hardly remember the series, though, so the only things that I end up remembering are just kind of how frustrating Hananoi as a character is. Which I didn't really feel as strongly about that while I was watching it, because, I mean, cute romance, I'll enjoy it either way. But yeah, this is a C tier. I think in my summer ranking, I had this above Nokatan. I can't bring myself to do that, though. There's too many issues. Alright, baby, next series.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Alright, Pseudo Harem. Pseudo Harem's fun.
It is. It's very fun.
Yeah, I will say, I do prefer the manga, mainly just...
I haven't read it. Is it good?
Because the manga's just formatted better, because almost every chapter is 4 pages.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, which explains why the anime... Because, like, an episode of the anime feels like a fucking eternity.
Oh, yeah. It feels like when I watch one episode, it feels like I've watched, like, 6.
Yeah. Like... Because, like, especially as someone who had read the manga before watching the anime, so I already knew what was happening.
Oh shit!
The anime felt so fucking slow. It was genuinely kind of a slog to get through for like the first 7 episodes. But the second half of the story that focuses on like Eiji being an adult in college, I think that's where the adaptation was actually able to become better than the manga, due to the fact that the story actually starts becoming a little more linear, following more of a clear path than the episodes before it were. And it's as a result of that I actually think that the anime format works better than like the short chapter format of the manga for that later part.
Yeah.
And of course, the main reason to watch the anime is, of course, Saori Hayami being the fucking goat.
She's such a goat.
Her voice acting in this show in particular might be my favorite voice role she's ever had.
Yeah, one of my favorites. I mean, she did Yukino, so it's hard to say that. But this was just her flexing. That's what this series was.
Yeah. Like, I definitely appreciate this adaptation existing strictly for the fact that we actually get to, like, hear a voice behind Rin, who is a character who, I mean, she's an actor, so she plays all these different roles to try to impress Eiji, with his harem, So, seeing, like, Saori change her voice for Tsundere-chan and Cool-chan and all these other characters. It's super fun.
They're really fun.
Oh yeah, right. This is the big question. I don't think we tackled this last time, but who do you think is best girl in Eiji's harem?
Oh, that's a tough one, you know.
Yeah.
I like Tsundere. She's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, this is like one of the Tsunderes that's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I think one of the points, every single one of them has their own charm.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pick like a definitive one that I like the best. And it's been a while since I watched it. Damn, that's a hard question. What would you say?
For me, I'm really split between Tsundere-chan and Spoiled-chan.
Oh, fair. Yeah, she's also up there. She's a great one.
From a personality perspective, I think Spoiled-chan is probably my favorite. but
I
Spoon
think
Rain-chan
so.
has twin tails, so she's best.
Fairs. But I think I love Spoil-chan because that's just Rin wanting to do what she wants to do.
Yeah, because Spoiled-chan is
under
the
the guise
closest
of a
one to Rain's
character.
actual personality.
Yeah, she just wants all of that she's doing. She just does it under the guise of a character, and it works perfectly.
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, because, like, so much of the story is built upon the fact that Rain very, very obviously is into AG, and
Yeah.
AG's just not getting it.
Yeah.
Which creates for so many cute moments in, like, the first bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then, of course, the romance that they actually confess, like, halfway through the series, which I wasn't actually expecting when I read the manga.
Neither. I was surprised. I mean, I thought it was gonna be one of those where, like, the confession is like the last chapter.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that it isn't because I think it's a lot better for the series.
For sure. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I would personally give it a B+.
I agree with you on that.
Just gotta find the poster real quick. There it is. Like, yeah, it's a very good series. It's a really fun series. And it definitely sticks out more than the other B tier series.
Mhm.
But I still think that just inherently it doesn't work well enough as an anime for me to justify A. I also think that the series could have been better given just how great the premise is, but I don't really want to knock it against it for that. What it is still
Yeah.
very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I assume this is one that you've seen.
Oh no, I think you saw this one, mate.
Nah.
Alright. This is just like an isekai. I mean, which,
I just assume it's this one.
I don't really remember. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't really remember much of this. There's actually season 2 that like is airing right now, but I'm not even watching it. It's just another shitty isekai. The gimmick for this one is that he got reincarnated, but instead of himself being overpowered, he can see everyone else's potential. So while he's not good, everyone around him is. He gets all like the really strong people that no one knows about. It's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, very gimmicky, but
it's
like,
not
it's a
necessarily
fine
bad.
gimmick.
Yeah, it's fine. At least it's not like too samey to everything else. So, this is just C tier, like bottom C tier.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by how large C tier is.
Well, yeah, but when you have all these isekai, it makes sense.
Fair enough. Alright, next up.
Most isekai gonna top out as C tier.
Blue Box, baby! I'm very excited to talk about this one. Yeah, Ano Hako is great. It reminds me a lot of Karahana, and the ways that the dialogue in the series feels kind of un-anime-like. Characters talk like real people, which I really appreciate for this series. It helps it stand out quite a bit. But of course, my favorite aspect of the series is how it's able to combine like super hype sports shonen stuff with the really compelling romance storylines. And of course, the romance is at the center. It is what the main appeal of this series is. But the sports stuff is like that really fun backdrop that helps keep it unique. And I'm kind of surprised that like sports romances like this aren't as common. But yeah, Blue Box definitely. It's not only a breath of fresh air, but it's also just generally really well written as well. I think that Taiki, the protagonist, is really well written. Because he has an absolute heart of gold, but at the same time, he is definitely an underdog. He's somewhat on the nervous side, but he's a very driven person. Like, when he says that he wants to make it to nationals for badminton, you believe him. He is an extremely dedicated person, and that also what comes down to like his friendships as well. There's somewhat of like a love triangle area because Hina is another one of the characters, and as the childhood friend character always does, she is not going to win, which sucks because she is probably my favorite character, honestly. I don't think she's the best written character, but I think she's just the most fun character to watch. Because I enjoy like the character who can talk smack with the protagonist. I think their dynamic is really fun. And then the big part of why Taiki is working so hard is because he wants to impress Chinatsu, which is a very like it's such a like a pure and innocent like motivation. It's really cute. Like having that always be like the backdrop of the motivation. Yeah. I feel like if I have one nitpick, it's that Chinatsu isn't a super compelling character. She's pretty good for what she is. And I recognize that the fact that like a lot of her feelings and thoughts are kept hidden from the audience is intentional. It's very much intentional because we are supposed to be seeing this from Taiki's perspective, very much so. Which means that we don't really know what's going on in Chinatsu's head, but at the same time, I feel like just from a personality perspective, she's somewhat on the boring side. She's very, because like I can tell and it's not to say that she's completely boring either. She has more personality than most romance heroines, honestly. Because like she's a very considerate person. Thinks a lot about other people's feelings before she acts or speaks on anything, which I assume is going to be something that they tackle a lot later in the series, because it is something that she's going to have to overcome. One thing I will say is that Reina Ueda does a great job voicing Chinatsu. Her voice is so fucking relaxing. It is like it's just a joy to listen to her speak. And yeah, just in general, I think Blue Box is great. This is kind of the issue with making a with rating something that came out in the fall season, because for like a whole year ranking, it's kind of hard to dictate where I want to place it. Granted, this is a 2-core series, which means that I will be able to talk about it more next season.
Yeah.
It has the potential to be A+, it really does. However, I'm gonna put it in A for now, primarily for the reason that I still feel like it has some more growing to do. I still feel like some of the characters need more time to flesh themselves out more, because like it is a very slow-paced series.
Oh, of course.
Like it takes its time building everything up. I imagine that I actually think I might have enjoyed reading the manga more as a result of that, because like from a pacing perspective, I think like that format works better for manga a little more than anime. However, I actually do think that the anime is honestly a perfectly fine place to start, because the production values on this are great. The studio is pretty much unknown. However, the animation is phenomenal. The character designs and just the general shininess of everything look fucking great. It's a very beautiful series. So yeah, I definitely recommend Blue Box to any romance fans. This is definitely not only one of the most unique romances out there, but it's just generally really well written. Yeah. Anyway, next up.
Alright. Just put it in S+. I think just put it there.
Same thing I said about B-stars too.
Second row, third to last.
There it is.
Yeah. Bleach, as always, peak. I mean, this is where 1,000 Year Blood War, right? Season 1 amazing. Season 2, great. Season 3, amazing again. This is where it really starts. Honestly, I think I'm like 3 episodes behind. But that's just because I've been busy. I love Bleach. Honestly, one of my favorite things this season was we got to see a lot of characters that we didn't see in season 1 and 2, and it's really cool to see them with the much better quality animation, because obviously Bleach was made in 2004. So obviously the animation is only gonna be so good, but to see these characters look so fucking cool, in Thousand Year Blood War, I fucking love it. And honestly, every time I see a new character that hasn't been in Blood War, I always get amazed by how good they look. I love the art style. The animation is amazing. Like, Bleach fans are eating very nicely. Like, we got niced. Pure doing amazingly. I'm even more excited. I mean, next season's gonna be the last season. That's the end of Bleach. And right now, we've just kind of like, this season's where the main fight starts. And it looks amazing. And I'm really excited to see how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
I don't want to see too much, obviously, because I mean it's technically season 3, but it's of one arc, and before that you had 360 episodes, so it's hard to say anything without spoiling majorly. Yeah, it's great. Though, it begs the question: is it worth watching Bleach for? If you don't like shonen, then probably not. If you like shonen, you like long anime, you watch like Naruto or One Piece, then yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anyone's like a big like One Piece or Naruto fan, then like just show them Bleach, they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the big 3. I mean, I know a lot of people like to hate on Bleach, but it's fucking peak.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and then now we are back onto the wheel.
I'm blind. Mushrooms lacking for me. What is this?
Yeah, bartender, Kami no glass.
Oh, this one.
This one, I quite liked it.
It was very relaxing to watch. It's about a bartender. Makes sense. And he tries to make what they call the glass of God, which is like the ultimate drink. And he is like a very quite secretive bartender. And he has a very good talent of seeing someone and knowing what they want to drink. He ends up getting scouted by a big hotel chain, but he denies it at first. And he keeps saying no, because he wants to make that glass first. And there actually ends up being a little bit of like plot, which is even though he does fulfill his goal as a bartender, technically he's not amazing at making drinks, because like in a competition he'll make a drink, but he will take what the person would want too much into account instead of trying to make a good version of that drink. It's kind of complicated to explain, but like it ends up being great for the consumer, but it ends up not being a good version of that drink, like objectively speaking. And he ends up going through a lot of development for it, and I think it's fine if I spoil it. It's just a 12-episode anime. He ends up going to the hotel at the end, and he ends up meeting a few people that he has a past with, and ends up we get to see like a lot of different characters, and I think all the characters are pretty charming. I think this anime was pretty decent. I mean, it wasn't incredible, it wasn't mind blowing, but it was pretty decent. It definitely wasn't a waste of my time. I think this is like a B tier anime.
Yeah. Now we're within B tier.
I think middle.
Alright. And now we spin the wheel yet again. Oh god, not the hot takes, not...
Oh no! What's going on now?
People absolutely love Spice and Wolf. It's a very beloved series. Has this massive fan base. I thought it was fucking boring. Like, absurdly, ridiculously fucking boring.
Oh.
Alright, I am now prepared to get mentioned in the comment section. I don't even really have much to say. I was expecting, like, more, like, general romance stuff, but it's instead about, like, economics and shit. And it's like, I watch anime to escape from the economic problems of my life, not to fucking indulge in them. C tier. And the only reason why I'm not putting it D tier is because I don't want to piss off people more than I already have. Actually, fuck it. Blue Archive was better than this.
Don't elaborate. Move on. Move on.
Yep, exactly.
The anime you dropped after 7 episodes is better.
Oh god fucking damn it! God damn it! God, no! So my friend Zonic and I, we like to watch like the really cursed anime, like once a season. So he was like, "Oh, we should watch the fucking Fat Elf anime," and I was hesitant because I saw the ecchi tag beforehand, and went, "Zonic, I don't think we're gonna like this. I don't think either of us are gonna be into this." I watched a single episode and I went, F tier. This shit's fucking horrible.
Okay.
Cause I saw the because I watched the first episode. It wasn't funny. Didn't have an interesting plot. I guess the plot was somewhat amusing from just the perspective of this is fucking batshit insane. But there are better like anime when it comes to that. But the main thing that really turned me away was just the ecchi aspects. I'm not into this shit. Just no, this isn't my thing. I just felt, and like kudos to people who can enjoy this kind of stuff, but like it made me feel so fucking uncomfortable. Yeah, easy F tier for me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anyway, wheel time. A sign of affection, yay! Something that I actually enjoyed. Yeah, this is like, what if a silent voice was a wholesome shoujo romance, instead of a depressing drama? And I enjoyed it a lot. I think I slightly overrated it in my original video, for winter 2024, but I still enjoyed it quite a lot. Yeah, because I really enjoy the fact that this is able to be, like, such a wholesome romance while also being, like, good representation for people who struggle with deafness, because, like, the main character, Yuki, she's deaf, and then, she ends up connecting with, Itsuomi, who is a, yeah, I believe... Yeah, he's trilingual before he starts picking up sign language. He ends up meeting her, thinking that she's a fascinating person, and picking up sign language as a result. Which, dude gives off just consistent Giga Chad energy throughout the entire series. Which I think I discussed this last time, but I feel like that's part of the appeal of like a shoujo romance, right? For at least dudes to be able to watch a shoujo romance and go, damn, I want to be like him. That dude's a fucking Giga Chad. Well, yeah, the show's pretty good. There's a bunch of other side characters who have aspects in the plot, like Itsuomi's friend, who's attracted to this one girl who's attracted to Itsuomi, but Itsuomi obviously isn't into that one girl because she's into Yuki, because he's into Yuki, and then Yuki is like this one best friend character that gets integrated in the plot as well. Yuki also has the childhood friend character who obviously loses because childhood friends never win. Wait, it's honestly genuinely fucking depressing too, because like, despite him having very much like a tsundere personality, he definitely cares about Yuki a lot. So the fact that he loses, it is genuinely depressing, but. And like you can genuinely really feel for his frustrations though, because like, for as much as Giga Chad as Itsuomi is, he's also someone who doesn't really do a great job at expressing himself in the greatest ways imaginable. So like, as a result, the childhood friend kind of sees him as a bit of an asshole, even though he is a good dude. Which added in some extra layers of drama that made this show fun to watch. Yeah, this was a very solid series. I enjoyed watching it a lot. It's not a particularly memorable series, but it's a very solid romance series, and it was able to stand out too. Like a shoujo romance about a deaf girl is definitely a unique concept. I don't really think any other anime would tackle such an idea. So yeah, I give it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my fucking god! I give it a solid B+. I'd probably put it at the top of B+.
Yeah, bro.
Next up on the wheel. Alright, Look Back. For those of you who don't know, because most Westerners don't seem to know when a movie drops, Look Back is a movie adaptation of Tatsuki Fujimoto's one-shot manga. And in case someone somehow doesn't know, Tatsuki Fujimoto is the Chainsaw Man guy. Chainsaw Man is a series that I consistently grow to enjoy more and more as time goes on. Like, I have Chainsaw Man rated as a 9 out of 10 now, which I was surprising to me, honestly. But Chainsaw Man is genuinely, honest to God, I think it might be my favorite battle shonen anime ever made. Just because the ways that Tatsuki Fujimoto is able to write about just the general experience of like being Gen Z, especially like a Gen Z young adult, in the ways that he's able to write those struggles in Chainsaw Man, makes Chainsaw Man a very compelling series for me. Beyond the fact that it's just a very well-rounded series of great characters and hilarious comedy to back it up. Look Back is a lot more serious, but I was able to enjoy this one a lot as well, because it deals with like being a creative and the struggles that come with that. Two people who become mangakas together, one drawing the characters and making the story while the other draws the backgrounds. The story takes a really sudden turn halfway through that's really well handled and well executed. When I read that turn in the manga, I was a little confused on what was going on, but because of the ways that movies are able to format themselves, I actually found myself enjoying this film quite a lot more than the manga, which it was a pleasant surprise, because I came into this kind of skeptical, because for as much as I enjoyed the one shot, I think it's Fujimoto's weakest work that I've seen, at least. I haven't read Fire Punch yet. but I have read his other one-shots, and of course have seen Chainsaw Man. Haven't read Chainsaw Man yet, though.
You're comparing it to a lot, so I think saying it its worst is like fair, but like at the same time.
I mean, Fujimoto is genuinely one of the GOAT mangakas, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then just as an adaptation, this is a fantastic adaptation. The animation is fucking gorgeous. And it's also able to stay very faithful to Fujimoto's art style as well. Which, very happy about that. And, yeah, I mean, I was able to identify with this movie quite well, due to its focus on, like, creativity, and then just generally able to enjoy the story quite a lot. It's definitely a tearjerker, but yeah, very good show. Movie. I am giving this one an A+. I'm surprised it took us this long to have another A+. Wheel time! Oh wow, we're halfway through.
Let's go.
Yo, Windbreaker! Windbreaker's really good. Yeah, I know you glaze Windbreaker a lot, so I'll actually let you start.
Yeah, I'm a Windbreaker glazer. Season 1 was great. I read the manga, I'm all caught up, and I'm not going to talk about it too much, obviously, because we'll talk about the anime. I really like this anime. Honestly, I'm trying to remember where the series ends, because the one thing I don't want to do is
when
it
ends with like introducing like, quite a lot of new characters. I believe.
I want to check. This is the problem when I read.
Yeah, because I noticed that season 2 is coming out in spring, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait for season 2 instead of picking up the manga.
Wait. Oh, okay. I understand now. I understand it now. Okay. Characters are amazing. I love all the characters make the series, obviously. Honestly, from the first episode, I really liked it. I honestly didn't expect it. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of violence, like just like high schoolers beating each other up. I didn't think I would be, but it was actually like, I think the animation was done very well as well. It looks great. And one thing that I really love about this show is that there's such a big variety of characters. Every character is so interesting. Obviously Sakura, he's got his charms. I don't know if it's mentioned in the anime too much, but he's a really big tsundere.
Yeah, he is one of the biggest tsunderes I've seen, which is, for a series like this, is one of the funniest decisions they could have made.
I know, it's so funny, because at first it's about high schools beating each other up and stuff, but then you see this guy who's meant to be like a really tough guy, blushing at everything. It's so cute.
Yeah, just every time someone compliments him, he's like, I'm not like that, baka!
Yeah, it's really funny. I think, obviously, Kotoha is best girl. She's great. I think all the characters, honestly, there isn't a character I dislike at all.
Like, even a character that I think would be annoying, like the dude who takes notes and is scared 24/7.
Yeah, Nire.
Yeah, because, like, a character like him, my brain automatically would compare to, like, Zenitsu. I fucking despise Zenitsu.
Yeah.
However, I actually found his character to be really charming. Because,
I think
a path toward his...
At first, I will say, I disliked him a lot. He was really annoying. I thought we were gonna get a Zenitsu, but I think afterwards, you end up realizing that it's pretty normal to be like scared shitless at seeing everyone around you beating each other the fuck up.
Yeah, and I think
When he doesn't know how to fight.
I think the thing that separates him from Zenitsu too is because like Zenitsu actively hates demon slaying, from what I can gather.
Yeah.
While Nire, he's someone who actively admires and looks up to all these delinquents. And as a result, the moment in the series, which means that he's like a good source of information. Of course, he's able to help out the character. He actually is able to be helpful as a result of like his information gathering ability. But it also gives like a lot of excitement for the inevitability of him eventually becoming a badass like everyone else.
One thing, I think he reminds me a lot of like very beginning of the series Deku. Note taking, gets scared a lot, but still has that like justice side to him where like he wants to be useful too. He wants to help his friends, help the people in his town. So I think he's great. He also is the first guy from Furion we really see apart from Sakura, obviously. We see him at the beginning. But yeah, he's great. Sugashita, fucking hilarious as well. His and Sakura's beef is really funny. But I like how at his core he's a sweetheart as well. And a massive Umemiya Glazer. But yeah, this series is great, man. I fucking love it. And the manga gets better, in my opinion. It gets a lot better. So I'm very much looking forward to season 2 and obviously manga chapters that we're gonna get.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then now it's time for my turn to glaze it. I love Windbreaker so much. This is a great series. Cause like I think a lot of it is built upon, and of course this is an ensemble cast series with a really good ensemble cast at that. But I feel like the core and the heart of everything comes back to Sakura, the protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like everyone made fun of his weird appearance, how he just kind of inherently looks like a delinquent, and I mean, I remember there was like a forum post about how he kind of comes down to like the self-fulfilling prophecy idea of him becoming what other people said he was. And as a result, he's less of a delinquent because he has any like
he's not a bad person.
Yeah, I mean he's a good guy, but he initially starts his delinquent journey wanting to be a delinquent for the wrong reasons. Because he wants to just be at the top, be the strongest guy. However, my second favorite character is Umemiya, because he does such a great job at showcasing to Sakura what a real leader looks like, what a good delinquent looks like. And I think that like this series' themes of leadership are very well handled.
I think it's great because I mean, at first Sakura's really confused as to like why is he like this? Why does everyone like love this guy? He don't even look that strong. He don't even show it at all. But then he ends up learning what it is like to be a leader and how to be a leader, what a leader should be like. And Umemiya does an amazing job at showing that. I think his character is great for it. He does a perfect, like, mentor type character. He's really good at that.
Yeah, and then and I love how like the last arc of the anime. Well, I guess it's like the last major arc of the anime. The fight between that other school. And how it's, and the main point of that arc is to show off why Umemiya's method of leadership is better than Joji's method of leadership. Which I think was a very genius idea to do for one of the earliest arcs.
Agreed.
So, and like...
It's very easy to go to, like, dragging it out to find out why he's right, but I think setting it straight right off the bat, like, this is how you should be a leader, is great, because it makes sense. It makes a lot more sense than having it drag out. And I think that fight was great for all the characters, really.
Yeah, I love how it gave a moment for all the characters to shine as well. Even characters that we still needed to learn more about and we're able to see get characterized a little bit better through those fights. Because the series did something great too, which is saying that a fight is a conversation, which is what every good fight scene in an anime should be. So yeah, very good series. And of course, it's not, like, perfect. There are some, like, nitpicky things I could say too, like, the world of the series makes no fucking sense. Like, how does the school work? Why are there no teachers?
Okay, now, actually, funnily enough, it's not a big spoiler. There are teachers.
Oh shit, there are?
You know when we found out?
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, we saw a teacher wrapping up a class. We don't even know what the teacher looks like. We just know the class ended 2 weeks ago. And we're like chapter 140.
That's probably something they should have established
No one knew
early
before
on.
that. No one knew. I looked because I was curious. I looked on Reddit. No one knew. 160 chapters, and we find out there are teachers.
Okay, so like,
But-
it is an actual school.
Yes, it's an actual school.
Because I thought it was just kind of... Because the anime treats it more as just, like, a hangout spot for all the delinquents, as opposed to, like, a school.
I think that's a result of what happened before Umemiya got there. Because they were, like, actual delinquents. Before he got there, and I think the school ended... That's my headcanon, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the school just ended up being like that because of everything.
And
I think everyone knows what goes on in that town, so they don't really... They don't really care.
And that's the cool thing about plot holes. You can just headcanon your way out of them and don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
Because, like, ultimately, I don't actually care. That
Yeah,
this-
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because that's not what this series is trying to be. I can suspend my disbelief because it does so many other things just fucking amazingly. I was actually gonna give it an A beforehand, but I'm kind of leaning A+ now, surprisingly.
Agree. Yeah. I have it as a 9 out of 10 on my anime list.
Yeah.
I think A+ is good.
So A+ definitely works. Surprisingly high rating, but yeah, Windbreaker is very good. Erectile dysfunction! Yeah, I mean, he actually got over his ED in part 2, but I still think the ED jokes are hilarious.
It's so funny. You have to make it funny.
Like,
Who
they
cares
spent an
what's
entire
right? It is
core
funny.
on the main character's erectile dysfunction, and it somehow turned out to be a masterpiece. Because, like, duh, it's Mushoku Tensei. It's some of the most brilliant writing in any anime I've ever seen. Yeah, great series, and just season two, part 2 was because core 1 was very slow paced. Because, like, it's a slow-paced romance between Rudy and Sylphie, and Rudy trying to get over his erectile dysfunction, due to the result of, like, the trauma he went through in season 1. And season 2, part 1, even though it's really well-written shit, is by far the weakest core of Mushoku Tensei, by far.
Wow.
Granted, that's not to say that it's weak or anything. It's still like S tier in my opinion. However, the core 2 amps up everything, because it actually is when we return back to the main plot of Because because part 1 of season 2 felt like a detour in a lot of ways. A very necessary detour, don't get me wrong, but it did feel like a detour. Part 2 though is when they finally get into Rudy finding his mother, which was like the big thing, like the big hook of season 2, and that's what they ended off with. I am very scared to spoil certain aspects with you, because whether or not you're actually going to see season 2, you should, because amazing.
I will. I don't know why I haven't, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm gonna avoid spoilers as much as possible. I'll just describe like my general emotions surrounding having seen the series. There's a moment close to the end that just fucking broke my heart. It is genuinely one of the most depressing things I've seen in an anime. Rudius goes through what is by far the most traumatic thing he's had to deal with in this series. In this core, which creates for a lot of really compelling moments. And then, of course, there's another aspect that gets into a really morally gray yet fascinating area, where Rudius has to make a really tough decision, and it creates for some extraordinarily compelling character drama. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a step up from the first core, and the first core was already S tier. Yeah, I mean, Mushoku Tensei does what Mushoku Tensei does, and is just one of the best isekai out there. It's so fucking amazing. Easy S tier.
Not better than Cheat Skill, though.
Not as good as Cheat Skill. I'm gonna put it above ReZero though, because I mean, ReZero only got to like the first 8 episodes of its season, while Mushoku Tensei was able to finish its second season, which generally means that I feel like I got more out of Mushoku Tensei this year out of ReZero. Next up.
F tier.
Long fucking title.
It's just F tier.
It's that bad?
Yeah. It's a guy who got like isekai'd, and then like he finds like a wife, and then like they do things. I dropped this shit at episode 8.
I mean, if it was executed well, it could have been cute, I guess.
I mean, just think I think a lot of people quite like this. Like he marries a wolf girl, and like there's a lot of romance, but like I don't really care. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a concrete reason to dislike it. It's just boring. It's just boring as fuck. And like, I love romance, so like to see this romance like be like really boring, unnecessary, and like, you know, it's F tier. I don't remember what happened, so I can't say much.
Yeah. Alright, gamers, we're on to the next part of the wheel. Alright, we got double leveling.
Solo level. Did you watch this?
Yeah, I watched it. Solo leveling was pretty good. Although, I feel like a huge... I say that somewhat with an asterisk, though, because, like, Solo Leveling is a series that is very much dependent on how they handle the momentum that it got later into the series. Because, like, on the surface, this very much seems like a very blatant like power fantasy series, because the main character gets this magical ability, becomes OP. But one aspect of the series that I found myself really compelled by was the fact that the main character is absurdly reckless. Which I fucking pray that they use that for something compelling instead of just having every battle stay awash.
Solo leveling is interesting to me, because it's by far the biggest power fantasy manhwa out there. It's the one that, like, anyone who's read a manhwa has read Solo Leveling. It was the one kind of to start it all. And it's what mainly brought about all these power fantasy manhwa, because it did so well. And I mean, this year especially, I've been reading a lot of them, and I know it's not the fault of Solo Leveling, but Solo Leveling has become just your traditional power fantasy manhwa. It was the first one to do it, but it's still just kind of a traditional one. The gimmick in this one is, unlike most power fantasies, you don't get stronger. Your abilities when you awaken are set. But our protagonist, Song Jin-woo, is different. He can get stronger. His power is limitless, but obviously no one knows this. Everyone thinks wherever you are, you just stay there. And he's famous for being like the weakest hunter ever. And he suddenly becomes this broken motherfucker. And obviously we finished at episode 12 where he awakens his main powers, which is necromancy. And one thing that is a bit strange with this show is that basically for the whole season, he's been using weapons like kind of regular, no magic, just weapons really. But now it completely switches to using necromancy, which is pretty cool. I think most people remember the Arise scene, which was pretty iconic in the manhwa. But it's all right. But that's kind of it for me. I don't really see the hype. I think most people who hype it up haven't read much other manhwa, and if they did, they kind of realized that it's fine, but not like peak fiction like most people kind of claim it to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say. I mean, like, cause like as like a power fantasy, it's pretty fun. It can be fun to indulge in it. But I also really hope that it becomes more than a power fantasy later on. I could be coping though. Either way, I think I don't think I'll ever dislike Solo Leveling. Cause like the fights are pretty cool.
Oh, I don't dislike it, of course. It's just, okay. It's like, it's good. I enjoy watching it. The story isn't incredible. I don't think it's trying to really be an incredible story.
Yeah.
But so good. I'm as like, if I had to pick like a most popular manhwa, I think Solo Leveling's alright to be like the most popular one.
Yeah.
There's ones that I prefer, but it's fine.
I would personally say it's I'd say it's good enough for B+.
I'm waiting for that Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint adaptation.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one as well, because I know that you hyped that up as a better manhwa.
I'm like lazy, but I fucking love it. It's my favorite manhwa of all time.
So yeah, Solo Leveling's still pretty good though. And then next up on the wheel. Yes, the one that sounds like an isekai but isn't an isekai. An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride or something. I don't remember the full name. It's fucking long. Oh shit, I did get it right. Yeah, I remember explaining the plot to this one, and you were like, How the fuck do you actually like this, Aiden?
Yeah, yeah. This is like your kryptonite.
Yeah, so this dude is like a sorcerer sorcerers are generally hated because they usually do big evil, but the main dude who's the sorcerer is a pretty solid dude. He sees an elf girl slave being sold and goes,
crazy.
"I want her!" He is down bad for some elf pussy, and Jesus Christ. Because when I describe the plot for the series, it sounds bad. It sounds bad.
Yeah, look at the alternative title. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Oh, I, the demon lord, took a slave elf as my wife. I don't know, I love her.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Damn.
That is a fucking hilarious title. That's what they should have called it.
Damn.
But yeah, because granted the main character though, he's not an asshole, so he treats her well, and then they end up hitting it off quite well. They have those cute couples moments. They're very cute together. Then like this dragon girl ends up coming near the end of the series, so they kind of have like a family dynamic when they're still trying to get their romance settled. It's a very cute series. It's very much like a simple feel-good series. Although I will say the stuff with Zagon, the main character, and relating to like sorcerers, how they're discriminated against, that shit was like genuinely quite interesting. And how him taking care of Neffy, and how their bond grows, slowly warms the city up to him as a person. It was really wholesome to see, because he was someone who had been discriminated against constantly throughout his entire life, and yet through getting a relationship with this cute elf girl, he's able to turn his life around in a lot of ways, and it's just sweet. It's very cute. When it comes to nitpicks, I actually do have quite a few. This series is not perfect, despite how much I enjoyed it. First one was like this one dude who was teased as like this big bad, and then because he's known for killing sorcerers, and then the plot twist that he's actually chill with them, and he only killed them out of self-defense, just kind of felt really underwhelming. I did find it fucking hilarious, though, that he becomes their butler, though. That shit was gross. And then, oh yeah, and then halfway into the series, the main character becomes an archdemon, which means that he's one of the strongest sorcerers. Therefore, any and all tension the series could have had is pretty much completely fucking destroyed when it comes to, like, the action-oriented parts of the series. Oh yay, yet another fucking fantasy series where the main character becomes overpowered. Absolutely wonderful. Like, the main character was always powerful, but there was a sense that, like, he could lose if he didn't play his cards right, which kept, like, the fight scenes compelling. Then he becomes overpowered, and there's fucking zero tension. And that wouldn't be a massive issue if the romance was, like, amazing. But the romance is just good. I feel like the main reason why the romance is just good comes down to the fact that Neffy, for as adorable as she is, and for as much as I would have fucking killed to have a wife like her, is somewhat of a boring character. She doesn't have that much of a personality beyond just being cute. So yeah, despite all the problems and nitpicks I have, I still enjoyed watching the series way more than I had any right to. It's a guilty pleasure B+ for me.
Okay.
Anyway, wheel time!
This is another one that's airing right now, and I am, once again, a couple episodes behind. I know how many episodes I am behind, but I'm like 5 episodes behind. Uh, it's alright. Uh, so season 1 came out last year, and then we got a pretty quick season 2, to be fair, all things considered.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's centered around a detective who got banned from being a detective because he has this thing where when he solves it, he basically becomes like a Call of Duty player, kind of, because when he solves a case, and like he finds the murderer, he'll be like, "Kill yourself." He literally is like, "Kill yourself right now." He becomes low tier god.
Damn.
So he got banned from being a detective because he solved a case. So he solved a case, but it ended with 5 people killing themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But
the Call of Duty. You're making the Call of Duty comparisons. How many racial slurs does he use?
unfortunately, none. I'd put this thing in A tier if there were a couple more slurs. Like, honestly, like, how are you gonna tell someone to kill themselves and then not include any slurs?
Exactly.
Like, that's where the real magic begins.
And because
Like,
that's
are you
just
really-
where the realism of the
he's not
series
even-
dies.
He's not even serious. He's not even serious about it. He's not even competitive like I am. I
It's
mean,
like,
not like I am.
genuinely, if you're gonna
obviously.
tell someone to kill themselves, you gotta call them some sort of slur. I'm white, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say cracker.
Yeah, fair.
I've never
So,
met
like-
a white person who's actually offended by cracker, but I think it's
No.
because of that it's such a hilarious term to use.
Exactly. Anyway, so what he does is, he ends up becoming a detective, but like technically not. He's not a detective. He just walks around one of our main characters, and basically tells him what to say, which honestly I don't like because main character Ishiki, which is not the forbidden detective, he's pretty incompetent. Like, he's a detective, but he ends up not doing too much and ends up just riding off the back of Ron, which I guess is the premise, but for most of it he's just kind of there and he doesn't really need to be. Even though I think he's an alright character. He seems like a pretty cool guy, but he ends up being a bit useless, which is a bit annoying. And yeah, this is like we're getting into like the intense stuff in season 2, trying to get over this problem of him being a Call of Duty player. His big disease of being a Call of Duty player. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but we find out who's the reason behind his Call of Duty-ness, who got him into Call of Duty. Yeah. So overall, where would I put this? I think beat it above Bartender.
All right.
There, that one.
Damn, this tier list just looks great.
It looks
Everything's
beautiful.
so even.
Oh my god. I love it.
All right, gamers. We're on to the next one.
This one. Okay, so this one, I didn't actually watch it while it was airing. I watched it afterwards. And this premise is very, very similar to Mashal. In a magic world, where our main character can't use magic. And you know what? It's pretty. It's decent. Like, he gets bullied a lot for not so like it's not hidden that he can't use magic like in Mashal. Everyone knows that he can't use magic, but he still goes to like a magic academy. Because his childhood friend is this girl who's like really like magic genius and went up to like a tower, like a magic tower, and he's trying to get to her. So he does that through the magic academy by being like a big bookworm and trying to graduate that way. And he has a lot of people who don't like him. Like the teachers, some of the teachers will actively go against him to try and get him not to graduate. Like giving him stupid tests. Like there was one teacher who literally asked one question in the test, and it was like, "What does magic mean to you? Use your own experiences," which is like normally is an easy question, but to the main character, it's impossible for him to really answer. But then stuff happens at the end. I won't spoil. I'm actually reading the manga. Unfortunately, it's monthly, which is really annoying. But it's fine. It's got some interesting characters. You've got like an elf guy, an ice magic user, and like a bunch of people who some people hate him, some people are by his side, like this one girl who like very much likes him. Yeah, I think it's interesting to see a bunch of these characters slowly gain their respect for him.
Yeah, it sounds like a genuinely decent underdog story.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I can't fault it really. I mean, it's not incredible, but it's not bad by any means. Like most of the fantasies that I see.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest plot twist, seeing you describe it, is that it's not an isekai. The poster made it look like one.
Not. It's not an isekai for once. In terms of tier placement, I put it at the top of B+, you know. It's not that bad. I just wish it wasn't a monthly manga.
Alright, next up.
Okay. Here we go. This is where the isekais start.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, that average score is not looking too high.
No, it's not even. Do you want me to be honest? For isekai, that's not even that bad.
Damn, that is
like, there's a lot worse. Let's see. Oh, this one. Yeah, it was okay. It was like Sword Art Online happened, but we did see the Sword Art Onlining. The guy solos the boss, and then he gets what's it called? He just gets transported without like I don't remember. It was more like 500 years in the future, but everyone else who got trapped in the game got sent back. So he finds people that he was acquainted with before, and finds out how he can get back to his world because he wants to get back. Much to the disappointment of the characters because they all really like him. But it was meh. Like bottom of C tier type shit.
Yeah. I mean, it looks bottom of C tier type shit.
Yeah.
Alright, gamers, next up on the wheel is Me When Your Mom.
Eurocamp.
Alright. Eurocamp is a very interesting one to think about, because, like, I remember I described it in the last time I discussed it. I quite like Season 1. I think Season 1's good. Like, it's a perfectly solid CGDCT with some surprisingly really good character development between the main two characters, Rin and Nadeshiko. Like Nadeshiko is a big extrovert, really adventurous and curious, while Rain is very much an introvert. She enjoys camping by herself. But because Nadeshiko kind of has the personality of a puppy dog,
Oh.
she's sees Rain and thinks she's like the coolest thing ever, right? It's adorable. And of course that means like, oh, I want to be your friend, Rain. So she tries getting into camping herself, and Rain's like, no, I want to camp on my own because she's an introvert. But Nadeshiko is able to prevent herself from being like an annoying character that she otherwise could have been, due to the fact that her character development stems from the fact that she's trying to understand Rain as a person. And it's that dynamic between the two characters that makes season 1 of Eurocamp genuinely some really solid shit. However, their character development's kind of over by the time that we're in season 2, and I think season 2 is honestly kind of weak as a result, because if you remove like the development between Nadeshiko and Rain, you don't really have that much else. Don't get me wrong, it does have its place, given how relaxing the camping trips the characters go on are, but I also don't think the characters are very good or have particularly interesting dynamics. I think the characters are really solid solo. Like, my favorite character is Chiaki. Chiaki's fucking hilarious. Just consistently has some of the funniest moments. She's just kind of a failure in a lot of areas, which consistently makes her very fun. But at the same time, she doesn't really have any interesting ways of bouncing off of like Nadeshiko and Rain. The closest I can say is that she can indulge some of Nadeshiko's adventurousness sometimes. And then the other main character, Aoi, I think is just completely boring. She adds fucking nothing. So like, again, after season 1, Eurocamp falls off in my opinion, which is not a popular opinion. Most people don't feel that way about Eurocamp. So by the time we're in season 3, I'm just like, yeah, they're milking this shit. This is fucking boring now. So I dropped it on episode 3, because it showed Rain and some other character that we had seen pretty much none of going through bridges for 24 minutes. It was fucking boring. It was extraordinarily fucking boring. And like, I applaud Eurocamp for the things that it does well, especially for how well written season 1 is. However, it really puts into perspective how ridiculously, ludicrously fucking hard it is to write a CGDCT that is actually good.
Yeah.
I'm not, and like, if you're someone who appreciates the calmer, quieter moments of Eurocamp, someone who can use it as like background noise to relax, or could give your full attention to it after a long day of work, then like, the show has its niche. I understand where it gets as big of an audience that it has. It's just, it stopped being for me after season 1, and I'm fine acknowledging that. Even though I dropped it after only 3 episodes, I cannot bring myself to put it in D tier. I think it's like C. Next up.
Ooh. Too many losing heroines. Basically, main character is kind of like a loner. He don't really have any friends. And he sees himself that way. He just sees himself as like, I'm just here. That's it. But he ends up making friends with girls who get rejected for other people. And I really like this series. Main character, he's really cool. The art style, especially, this anime, beautiful, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips and was like, wait, the animation for this is way better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it's really, really good. That's honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of the show. It's just nice to watch aesthetically. A great job by A1. Yeah, it's just kind of like a lot of interesting characters grouping together in what is it? Is it literature club? I think it was literature club. And he ends up just gaining more friends and having like his own friend group, helping all these people cope. And it's really interesting. All the characters are interesting. They have their developments. And while there's not much like romance right now, I expect stuff to happen. I think I'm probably gonna read it. I don't know how far ahead the light novel is, but I'll probably read it. If I can find somewhere to, not illegally, of course. Yeah. To me, I didn't even give this shit a rating on Mal. I'm an idiot. A+. Honestly, I fucking love this show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much, obviously, because I don't want to spoil. But it's a great show.
Oh, I was trying to hold him. I'm gonna go into the bathroom real quick.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long video. It makes sense that I would need to take one of them.
Yeah. So now we wait. So I'll just talk to you guys. Why not? How was this year of anime for you? Comment and I'll maybe make fun of you or call you base depending on your opinions. I think this year I didn't watch too much. This year was my year of manhwa. I think I'll make a manhwa ranking on my channel, maybe. I don't know. That's heavy because I'm reading probably like 30 or something like that. Probably more. Probably close to like 40. I might make a manhwa ranking if I'm bothered. Not even necessarily the ones that started this year, just everything I've watched. But yeah.
Alright,
I feel
trying to
so-
speak from halfway across the room. I don't know if I'm actually audible though. And I'm
Yeah,
now back in
you
my
are.
comfortable computer chair. Oh my fucking god, that shit could give me a boner. I hate
Bro,
myself
I
sometimes.
can't lie, toilet's more comfortable. My toilet's my gaming chair.
That's the gaming chair. Oh man.
I'm shitting right now.
I can't imagine how bad your hemorrhoids must be.
No, it's actually great because I can shit while recording. Like I'm shitting right now.
Okay. I can see the meta in this.
I've got really good noise suppression, so you
Yeah,
can't
because
hear
like
it, but
all
I'm
these
shitting.
fucking gamers think that they've unlocked the system by using piss bottles. But how are they gonna shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking.
What, you gonna shit in a fucking bottle? No. I
Just-
mean, you could maybe.
Just make your.
I don't want to think about
Yeah,
it.
just put your desk next to your toilet and boom, you got the perfect setup.
Yeah, like I just sit on my toilet and well,
I-
if it causes you damage, then that's just a skill issue.
I wouldn't be surprised if one
you don't
day.
go and ask that at me.
I wouldn't be surprised if one day a streamer actually decides to put their gaming setup in their bathroom.
Okay, I'm surprised Asmongold hasn't done it already.
Genuinely, that sounds like the kind of shit that Asmongold would do. Oh wait, his bathroom is probably
Alright,
too
look.
messy for him to make a gaming setup out of it.
That's true.
Oh man.
I'm just not talking about shit, and then get an isekai which is probably more shit than shit.
Yeah, if we don't get an isekai though, that would just kill the mood.
Fuck!
Wait, something is actually good. God damn it! Alya-san is fucking
It would
great.
no, it would have been even funnier if we got free win.
But yeah, because this is the biggest pleasant surprise of the year for me. Because I looked at the title, went, wow, this is going to be really fucking gimmicky and boring, isn't it? And then I watched it and went, wait, this is really good? What? Huh? I really liked this one.
Same.
Like, because like like even as soon as like the first scene, I could tell this was something special. Just like the ways that how am I forgetting his name? Kuze and Alia speak with each other is so dynamic and fun to listen to. It's such a they have such a strong dynamic. And that goes for literally every character in this series. Every character in this series, just I have fun listening to them talk about anything really. Because they're just fun characters.
Their dynamics are amazing.
Yeah, which is very important for a romance, in my opinion. And then that doesn't even really begin to also get into the fact that like the series, despite sounding very gimmicky, doesn't rely on its gimmick of Alia. Sometimes of Alia hiding her feelings in Russian.
To me, it feels like that concept initially hooks you in, but you stay for other reasons. You're not the Russian bit is just kind of like a side thing that it ends up being a side thing. Like, oh, it's there.
And like, don't get me wrong, it is the hook for the first couple episodes, but then it gets into like the student council plotline, which I think is significantly more interesting. And like, there are a lot of people on the Mal forums bitching about how this wasn't the fucking 10 billionth generic rom-com that follows the exact same fucking beats that every fucking rom-com, every fucking season does. And it's like, guys, be fucking grateful that you're watching a series that for once is doing something different. Because romance, I'd say, is genuinely up there with isekai for the most fucking generic and overdone, most gimmicky genre of all of anime.
For sure. And I like it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings about how gimmicky and overdone the romance genre is, because romance is my favorite genre, by far and away, not even close to anything else. And yet, I can only really say that about certain kinds of romance series, because it's a very overdone genre.
Yeah. One thing, back to Alia-san, one thing that I really... It's interesting, because I think a lot of people might have seen this as, like, harem bait, kind of, but it ends up not being that.
Loki, it kind of is harem bait, because like it feels.
Yeah, but like you've got all these women, but like you've got the main love interest. Then you've got her sister.
Wait, who is the best character in the series, by the way?
Which one, Yuki or Masha? Yuki.
Yuki.
Yuki is fun.
Yuki is the best character in the series. Fucking every time that there was a funny clip of her, it would become a meme.
Yeah, I remember it being memed a lot.
Yeah, and then yeah, Alia's sister is a good character as well.
Yeah, I think this show has it's gimmick, and it ends up doing different things. What's it called? What am I thinking of? Student council. That's what it is. Ends up not just being like a repetitive romance where the same things happen over and over again. Instead, these characters actually have their goals and they're working towards it. And there's conflict, and like tension, but not in the way that you'd expect. To me, anyway. I mean, I read 3 volumes of the novel. I don't know why I didn't carry on. I probably should. But it's good. I like it. Good anime.
Yeah, and then like there are other things to note as well. Like the character development is really well done. Of course, Alia-san has like the main arc of becoming student council president. But I think that Kuze is a very interesting character throughout.
Oh, for sure.
Because like. He reminds me of Aiden-kun in a lot of ways, in the ways that he kind of hides the fact that he's secretly a genius.
Yeah, he's Aiden-kun if he wasn't deranged.
Yeah, he's Aiden-kun, but like not a psychopath. He's don't get me wrong, he's got issues for sure. Every character in the series does, but he's a character who it seems a lot more realistic for him to actually overcome those.
Mhm. And one thing, Alia is very much like the model student who's like perfect, but I think we see a lot of more of a human side, especially in the fact that she's always teasing Kuze. And I think it's really cute a lot of the time. And it's funny because you brought up Masajuka being like a genius. Honestly, they kind of slept on him in the anime. There were some changes where there were things that Masajuka did that they didn't give him credit for. But I'll let it slide. It's still, and also, just like Too Many Losing Heroines, this anime is beautiful. Oh my god.
For sure. Like,
it looks incredible.
Ever since Oshinoko came out, Dogakobo went from a very underrated studio to, like, just straight up, far and away, not even a competition, one of the best anime studios out there.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is a very, very gorgeous series. Just like, again, this was the biggest pleasant surprise of the year for me. I was expecting this anime to be fucking boring mid as shit, and I ended up really loving it. I would put it in,
Yeah.
I'd probably still put it only in A.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I put it above Classmate Elite though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it fits around that area. And then, next up on the wheel... If only we got this one earlier.
Yeah, man. Isekai. This gimmick is, the main character is like a toddler, and like she has this, she got like, God basically told her, what do you want? And like you've got this other world, and God's like, do you think these guys should exist? You better find out. And basically all the non-human people, like animals, love her. Like, you have animals that like are famously like aggressive to everyone being loved. So called loved by the animals. Like, they all love her. It is pretty cute because the main character is really cute. Yeah. It's fine. It was a cute character, but it's also just Sita, really.
Yeah, it sounds
like,
very fine, but also like a decent show to watch.
Mid-seated, because at least it's got its gimmick. That's like alright. Yeah, I think that's a good place.
Alright, gamers. Fucking finally! I've been waiting for this one. Don 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 don. I fucking love Don don. Don don is so good. And now I have Otonoke stuck in my head.
It's a fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean that song's great. In fact, okay, the main reason why I picked it up was because of the high rating, but the other reason I picked it up was because of the Creepy Nuts OP. Like, when I saw, oh shit, Creepy Nuts is doing the OP for this, and it has a high rating on Mel, I mean, I have no reason not to pick it up then. Yeah, I'm very glad I did. Don Don is a great series, just all around. Because, like, it's a battle shonen, which means it's going to have very mass appeal. A lot of people are going to end up seeing it. And yet, it reminds me a lot of Chainsaw Man in the way that it very much differentiates itself from that formula in a lot of really nice ways. Like, it's a really funny comedy for one. That animation-wise, it looks great. It's animated by Science Saru, which means that it is a very out there and weird looking series visually, which is very good. That works a lot. And then of course when it comes to like the battle aspects of the series, in this world, both the occult and yokai are a thing that exist in this world, and even though the main two characters start out disagreeing with each other on which ones are real, they end up finding out that both are real, and they both end up getting supernatural powers. And then one aspect that I was surprised about too is that this is one of the best romance series of the year, surprisingly. I think shonen fans glaze the romance aspect a little too much. It's not the best romance of the year. Because, I mean, like, most shonen fans haven't seen a fucking good romance to save their lives.
Yeah.
Because shonen fans don't watch anything other than shonen.
Yeah, and it's annoying.
Even when talking about a battle shonen that I genuinely like, I still can't resist the urge to take a dig at their fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very...
I need to watch Dinosaur.
You do. It's great. But yeah, because like in terms of like the romance, it's really good too. Because the main dude, Ten Takakura, who because like the main girl Momo, she has a celebrity crush on like an actor named Ten Takakura. So Okarun being named Ten Takakura is a really funny joke. She calls him Okarun because like, oh, occult-kun, because he's obsessed with the occult. Because so Okarun was was like very shy, had no friends. But Momo is just a genuinely open-minded person. And they're able to form a connection. And pretty early on, Momo starts catching feelings for Okarun because he's just a genuinely good dude. And while he's shy and introverted, he doesn't fall into the trap of being an insufferable nice guy either. When he doesn't even consider having feelings for Momo either until someone else says that she's cute, and then he realizes, wait, this person who I've been talking to all this time could be cute, and then he starts looking at her differently, and it's adorable. So like, low-key I can kind of relate to that, because I'm in a similar enough situation to where like, I can't view myself ever being in a relationship. For as fucking sad as that sounds, my self-esteem really is just that low. So, because like I've had a few female friends in my life, or at least women that I've gotten along with, and I pretty much never see them as romantic options, like, ever. So like that. So that kind of like realization that Okarun had, where she's like, wait, she is a girl, was fucking hilarious. Their romance is consistently so well handled throughout. It's relatively slow burn, which makes sense. This is a battle shonen, first and foremost. And then, again, comedically, this is a great comedy as well. The jokes are very funny. Like, because the whole plot is like Turbo Granny stole Okarun's genitals, so they make a lot of jokes about balls.
I've seen a lot of that. Yeah.
So like, very very good series, a very unique series that's able to stay unique and innovative while also being able to cater toward that more general shonen going audience at the same time. A very very impressively well written series. And, who knows, I might be glazing it a little too much for this, but I actually think I put it in A+. Like, it's a very good show.
Okay.
Alright, next up.
I don't have many left, I don't think.
Yeah. Yes, Suma Show. The one that all the fucking tourists saw the title of and went, nope. Meanwhile, when I see something with a cursed title, I just become instantly enamored with it. I need to know if it's actually good or not.
Oh, that's the title.
Yeah. And
Ah,
the show itself is surprisingly amazing. It's really good. Cause it's not, cause like if you read the title, you're gonna think, wow, that sounds really weird and creepy. Cause yeah, it does. But when you actually watch the show, it's a story about overcoming grief. And the struggles that come from grieving and dealing with those feelings of grief. It's very well done, and along with that, the wife character, Takai, she has a deal, since she's reincarnated, has a deal with being in another family, different from her own, and as a result of that, it means that there's more family drama related to her having to get along with her new mother, who is not a great person, at least at the start, and it creates for even more really compelling drama. This is a show that's able to tackle like themes of family very well, and how that familial love is so strong, despite the fact that the family relationships are so complicated throughout the series, whether it be the fact that the wife died, came back in the weirdest way imaginable, and also with the fact of the wife being in a new family. Just this is a very, very good character drama, which is weird because this is very obviously a drama, and yet this is titled as a romantic comedy, which, like, no, it's not at all.
I know. Oh.
It's like I can't think of a single time I laughed watching the series, and I also think that like there is some romance aspects. The main character's daughter, she ends up getting married. There's also some romantic tension between the main character and co-worker of his, which creates some further drama with the family. It's a very good show. I do have some nitpicks with it, though. First one is more on the obvious side. The production values are pretty subpar. It's not a very good-looking series. And then the next one has to do with what is it? The brain fart. Oh yeah, and then the other one has to do with the main character being genuinely fucking stupid. He doesn't take the situation he's in seriously enough. He's like, oh, my wife is back. I'm just happy that my wife is back, ignoring the fact that the situation that he's in is a very severe one. If anyone were to catch him, they'd think he's a fucking weirdo creep, for good reason too, if they don't know the situation. And he doesn't take that seriously enough, which gets really fucking frustrating throughout like the middle part of the series. Thankfully, the story gets past that later on, thank God. And then there's another really stupid decision that the main character made at like the end of episode 10 or 11. I think it was the end of episode 10, beginning of episode 11, related to some information that he gives to his daughter. It's just like, dude, you're a fucking dumbass. But he means well. He has his heart in the right place, which is the reason why I was able to still enjoy the series despite the fact that he's a fucking idiot. And overall, this is a very well-written family drama that is able to, I'd say, generally treats the subject matter with as much respect as they could have, given how fucking weird the title is. And I would say, as a result, I will put it in A tier. It's a lower A tier for sure, but I think it's an A tier. Alright, next up on the wheel...
Oh, slime.
Slime, baby.
Slime is like one of the bigger isekais out there. From what I remember, I don't think people like this season as much. Because yeah, I think the rating kind of dropped. Because
Oh yeah, it did. Holy shit.
it didn't have much fighting. I don't remember much fighting happening at all. Instead, it was very politically based, which I don't mind. I find it quite interesting actually. But meh, my opinion of Slime has kind of been dropping. It's okay. See, I don't know why I have it as an 8 out of 10 for the other seasons. This one is like a 7, like a low 7. Like top of B plus, I'd say. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I think that's all right. It's all right. I mean, I think Slime's just a fun watch. To be fair, its story isn't incredible, but it's got some good moments, so it's not bad. I think I did diss it quite a bit for no reason. But it's fine. I think it's just a B plus though.
Yeah. Alright, next up, baby. Wheel.
Oh, another one.
Another isekai. What a fucking long
Oh,
title.
This one fucking balls. It's like
Oh yeah, it's the
detail.
one that that Scamboli had a funny thumbnail for.
Bro, look at the fucking image and look at all them characters, bro. That is bare weird. I'm not even gonna lie. This strip was. It feels like pedo bait. I'm not even gonna lie. It was really boring. You have like an overpowered main character, and that's it.
Damn, no isekai tit.
Decent.
Wait, no. It is reincarnation though.
It's reincarnation, but not isekai. Because before he couldn't do magic, now he's like a genius at it. Anyway, D10. I don't remember shit. I genuinely don't remember shit. It's D10.
Yeah, from what I can tell too, people. I remember one person in the comment section flaming you for it as well, saying that it was good or something.
It was boring. I mean, there was some fights, and there was some alright scenes, but most of it was balls.
Yeah. Wheel time. Yes, I got to talk about something that I actually give a shit about. I fucking love Konosuba. It's one of my favorite anime series of all time. Like, it's my favorite isekai. Because, like, not only does it have some genuinely really solid character development, but it is also, by far and away, one of the funniest fucking comedies ever. This is an S+ for me. Like, this season was able to keep up the quality, in my opinion. Just very hilarious all around. Like, this season actually has my favorite joke of the series, too. There's a new character, Iris, who's the, who's like the princess, and then Kazuma, because being the big-brained guy he is, has one goal. He wants her to call him Oni-chan. And it is the funniest fucking shit. When it finally happens, he raises his arms in the air like, yes! Like, that shit fucking had me dying. And then later on, when he leaves, like, the castle, she calls him Oni-chan in front of Megumin, and then she starts arguing with her about that. Fucking great. Series is so fucking funny. Just consistently, Konosuba has some of the funniest jokes of any anime I've seen. And like, that's because like Konosuba has a very immature sense of humor. Like, It's consistently very abrasive, horny, sometimes on the edgier side. Like, it's great. It's so fucking great. And then this season also put in steps to develop Darkness's character, which I think is really solid. Because I quite like Darkness. Darkness, I think, is honestly in contention for like the funniest character too. The joke of her being like a huge masochist is,
Yeah, it's
like,
really funny.
legitimately. And don't get me wrong, it is the same joke being told every time, but they tell it in different ways, and I think that's what makes Darkness such a fun character for me.
Yeah.
And in this season, you actually get to see a little bit more of her, which I think is quite nice. And then, like, one thing to note too, I love how the longer Konosuba goes on, the more morally dubious Kazuma becomes. Like, because when Konosuba, first couple episodes of Konosuba, Kazuma seems like a really reasonable guy, right? And then you end up realizing later on, wow, this dude is kind of a piece of shit. He is like one of the most abundantly horny protagonists I've ever seen in any anime.
Hey, nothing wrong with being horny, I hope.
I mean, that's the funny thing too, because like a lot of people like get angry at like Mushoku Tensei for a lot of the same shit that Kazuma does on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But
Like,
the difference
Kazuma
is,
be doing shit on a daily, and then it's like, yeah, that's just Kazuma being Kazuma.
yeah. I mean, like, I guess I could say like the difference is that like Mushoku Tensei is supposed to be taken a lot more seriously than Konosuba, but at the same time,
Yeah,
Konosuba does have its serious moments. It's not like it's just a comedy, and I think labeling it as just a comedy does a disservice to how good it is as a series. Like, yeah, because like this is the only anime this year that I've seen twice. I watched it.
Shit, fair.
I watched it subbed as it was coming out, and then I watched it dubbed with my IRL friends, who I showed the first 2 seasons to.
He watched it dub!
Yeah, the dub is actually pretty good as far as anime dubs go. Although I do prefer the sub.
Funnily enough, I've watched so little anime this year, I think I've watched more dub anime than sub anime.
Oh wow.
Because I watched all of Naruto in dub.
Ah, fair. I mean, Naruto's dub is genuinely quite decent, so.
It is, that's why I watched it. I didn't really like the sub when I watched it, so I watched the dub. Anyway.
But yeah, again, easy S+. Love Konosuba. Wheel time! I think the rest of these anime aren't going to be nearly as interesting to talk about. And yeah, I get proven right pretty much immediately. The foolish angel dances with the devil. Like, it was fine. It's a genuinely solid idea for a series, like a romance between like an angel and a devil. The devil is straight up not even like that bad of a guy. He's just trying to live his own life. And then like the angel girl puts like a collar on him, so he's kind of forced to do her bidding and shit. Honest to God, that's kind of all I remember with this series. This is a very, very forgettable series. Like, extraordinarily forgettable. I think the biggest thing that I had to mention this too, before I can get into like actually describing like the plot and characters. The animation in the series is fucking dog shit. It looks horrible.
Oh.
Which is like genuinely, it's a little unfortunate because like there is the occasional fight scene too. So like the fact that it looks so bad is just like there's another weird thing that the series does too, where like this series kind of has like some Kaguya-sama comparisons with how the main characters banter, and they intersperse that bantering with like 2 cat people boxing each other for some reason. I don't get it at all. Like, why? It was kind of cute the first time, but why are these recurring characters? Like, what the fuck? Honest to God, outside of that, the series is so fucking forgettable. Oh yeah, I liked the performance that Ayane Sakura gave Amane. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, because she's a good voice actress. Genuinely, I have nothing else to say about this one. This one was way more forgettable than I thought it would be. C tier. Honest to, I guess I'll put it above Eurocamp Season 3 because I actually finished it, but yeah, definitely C tier. Next up on the wheel...
The really, really long name.
Jesus fucking Christ, what is with that title? I swear, you and your fucking isekai.
I'm better now. I read manga now instead of watching isekai. I prefer it. Because, like, the average isekai is like a 5 out of 10. The average manga is like a 6 out of 10. Like 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot better.
Okay, this is the one.
Yeah, that one. I don't remember much about
Jesus
this one.
Christ, both the
just
Japanese and English titles take 2 rows to finish.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I think the title is more interesting than the show itself.
I mean, you don't even need to watch the show. You can just read the title when you've got it.
The strongest
Bro,
tank's
the
labyrinth
title is just
raids.
episode
A
1.
tank with rare 9999 resistance skill that got kicked from the hero's party. That sounds like every isekai ever made.
Yeah, except it's not an isekai, Lamau.
Wait. Oh, I swear to God, all these fucking fantasy series that look like isekai but are actually just fantasy series.
Basically, Siscon tries to cure his sister's debilitating illness, joins Hero's party, but then gets kicked because he got scapegoated, even though it was just the hero being a bit of a moron. But then, what's it called? He finds someone, that's some girl, and then they start raiding, I think, and then Happy Days or something. I don't remember. I think it was like, I don't care. I don't remember anything that happened. I think I remember it being like abhorrently mid. Like D tier. But like above the other one. Yeah, that.
Alright, gamers. Which anime is getting picked next? Oh, this will be fun.
Rerun has survived until the very end. This is great for viewer attention.
Because I know everyone F-Dog was waiting for my opinion on gushing. I swear, I mainly know.
Incredible for viewer attention.
I mainly know the series for the ways that like Zonic and F-Dog won't stop glazing it.
Yeah, they glaze it so hard. Oh
Like,
my days.
I'll never be able to forget that this series exists because of them alone, as if watching the series itself. Because like this is a very unforgettable series because it is unhinged to all in every metric. Like it is it's just aggressively raunchy and horny the entire time, and yet the weirdest part is that it's actually good despite that. Like genuinely, the comedy works, the character development is solid, the character dynamics are really fun. I enjoy hearing the characters banter, and then the animation, while having some pretty bad looking episodes, has some episodes that look quite solid as well. Like it has no right to be as good as it is. It really doesn't. If F-Dog was here, he'd probably talk about how the show is secretly really deep, and how we're all really underrating such a absolute masterpiece of a series. But in my personal opinion, it's just solid dumb fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna see it again. But I enjoyed it. And next time I see it, I'm definitely gonna be in VC with F-Dog and Sonic at the same time. That shit's gonna be fucking fun. Because, like, this is definitely a watch in VC kind of anime. It's so much more fun to watch this with friends than it is to watch it on your own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put it as a solid B tier. Probably top of B tier. But I wouldn't really put it in anywhere higher than that. Next up.
Don't be free rent. Don't be free rent. No!
I can't believe it took so long to happen. Guys, we finally did it. We can finally put Free Red in F tier, baby!
Hey.
Alright, next up.
Don't elaborate.
I love how the only two ones left are Isekai.
Yeah. This one was like the girl. No, was it a girl or a boy? I don't remember. I think it was a girl. Yeah, it was a girl. She what's it called? She got like found out that she was like completely talentless, and then she gets like ignored by everyone and like her family as well, to the point where like they try to kill her.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, did he cut out or something? Oh yeah, I'm having a connection problem. I think my
Hello?
I think I cut out
Is it
for a
me?
bit.
Is it me?
It was me.
Okay, okay. How much did you skip? How much did you not hear me for?
You talked about how like she was exiled.
Oh, okay, yeah. So now she's just living on her own, like on the run, from people who want to kill her, and she befriends a
Oh my god,
slime.
we've been recording for 3 hours.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god! How the fuck? What the heck?
Oh man, because I noticed the music was off, and I was like, "Huh, what's going on
Oh.
with that?"
We talked for longer than we did last year, and we watched like
Less anime than
at
we did
least-
last
Yeah,
year.
we watched a lot less anime this year. What the heck? Okay, well then, carrying on, yeah, she just, what's it called? Just, like, lives her life. I don't really remember too much, about this show. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't boring. It wasn't that boring. Just forgettable, and like, I will like admit that it's got its gimmick. So it's not like horrendously bad. I'd put it in like D tier above that last one. Actually, wait. You know, like 2 to the right.
All right.
Yeah, there. That's good. I think that's all right.
All right. No reason to spin the wheel, but I'm gonna spin the wheel anyway.
No, there's more reason to spin the wheel. We have to get rid of everything.
I mean,
What's
the
it gonna
wheel
be?
is just satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could have never guessed it. It's Isekai Suicide Squad. Now, I was hardcore glazing this anime before it came out. I was so excited for it, for numerous reasons. Like, for one, it's something that I could watch with one of my IRL friends, because I'm a very big fan of anime. My friend is a very big fan of, like, Marvel, DC, superhero stuff.
Ew, real movies. Ew.
So I was like, oh yeah, that's something we can watch together, because it's superheroes. He was gonna see it anyway, and it's anime. I was gonna see it anyway, so we may as well watch it together. So we watched it together, and And then there were other things about the series that were promising too. Like Wit Studio animated it, which meant that like yeah, even if the series isn't like up to like Wit Studio's usual par, it would still look quite good. And like even though this didn't quite live up to what Wit Studio normally makes, it is still quite good. And then this is the first time as well that a VTuber is singing the OP or ED, and Go Getters is a fucking banger. Mori Calliope makes great music.
She does. I know a lot of people hate on her, but I like her music.
Like, but like, the thing is, now that the series is over, the best part of the series, in my opinion, is the ED.
Yeah.
Not only because the song is a banger, but also because it looks fucking goofy as shit. Like, having Amanda Waller do goofy TikTok dances completely ruins all the intimidation that her character is supposed to have in Suicide Squad. And yet, it honestly fits the series perfectly, because it's not like the series is good anyway. Like assassinating the intimidation factor of Amanda Waller when she hardly shows up in the series anyway. Honest to God, it does a perfect representation of just like how this series just kind of came and went. Because like Suicide Squad is a very inconsistent series. It can either be some of the worst, most insufferable, unbearable dog shit imaginable, or some really, really good shit. Because like, of course, everyone knows about the infamous video game that recently got canceled. That everyone hated, and then of course the first Suicide Squad movie. Oh my fucking god, fuck that movie. It's so dog shit. Like that movie is fucking horrible. Like the first half feels like a bunch of trailers mismatched together in order to make a movie that fucking barely cohesively flows, and then the end of it is like some boring end of the world conflict where fucking Harley Quinn, whose best asset is throwing a bat well, has to fight basically God, and it's like fuck that movie, I hate that fucking movie. The first 30 minutes were like somewhat funny in an ironic sense, but the rest of it is just dog shit. Fucking unbearable, unwatchable dog shit. Fuck that movie. I fucking hate that movie. Wow, this is like the most emotion I've felt this entire video.
guys, I think he likes the movie.
And then but then immediately in that same sitting, because my friend showed me that movie, and he was like, and he knew that my opinion of Suicide Squad would be bad if I only saw that. So in the same sitting, he showed me James Gunn's 2021 Suicide Squad. Great movie. Really, really good. Like, it's able to handle its ensemble cast very, very well. The character deaths happen very constantly, and you're like genuinely on your toes to see who will live. Because the only character with plot armor in that entire movie is Harley Quinn. Because, of course Harley Quinn has plot armor. Everyone else could die at a moment's notice. So it kept the movie very tense, and yet the movie was still able to be really solid comedically. It looked great visually, because James Gunn is just a very inventive director. And then after the Suicide Squad, they made a Peacemaker TV spinoff. Which turned Peacemaker from a character who I decently liked to a character who I absolutely fucking adore. Peacemaker is my favorite DC villain now, because of that series. And it doesn't help too that that Peacemaker was played by John Cena, who, I mean, I'm a big wrestling fan, so like John Cena is basically my childhood hero. And he's a fantastic actor as well. He was really able to flex his acting skills in that series. So like I can say confidently after having seen the James Gunn stuff that I am a fan of Suicide Squad. And I know this preamble is long and like it is long. I have been rambling a lot when discussing this. But I do this for a reason. It's because I need to explain what my expectations for Suicide Squad Isekai were going in. Being a fan of Suicide Squad, being a fan of Wit Studio, and being a fan of Mori Calliope, I was just like, this series is gonna be fucking goated, man. It's gonna be great. And it ended up being the first time that a Suicide Squad series wasn't bad, but also wasn't good. It was fucking mid. So aggressively fucking average. Like, because, like, it's not bad. It has its moments. Like, there are some genuinely good, character dynamics. The main carrier of the series, in my opinion, was Clayface. Who was a DC villain that I hadn't seen anywhere else beforehand. My IRL friend let me know that Clayface doesn't normally look like that. He has a Clayface most in all of his depictions in the actual comics and movies. But for this series, they just have him like spew clay out of his hands. So like this anime isn't entirely faithful to the comics and the movies, which I don't think is a very big deal because the movies aren't faithful to the comics anyway. The general gist I get with like American media is that American media properties is that you can just kind of put your own spin on things, and this series very much does do that. Because like Clayface is actually genuinely quite fun because he's a wannabe actor. So he has like this really cocky, funny personality. Everyone else, the spin they put on them was making them boring. I mean, Harley Quinn is fine in this series. Like design-wise, this is my favorite looking Harley Quinn at least. She's still kind of boring though. Peacemaker is such a massive downgrade from his other iterations, which, honest to God, was the biggest thing that disappointed me about this series. King Shark doesn't really do much, but he doesn't really do much in James Gunn's Suicide Squad either. He's just kind of there because funny design. I mean, Deadshot was decent. He bounced off everyone quite well because everyone in the series is a fucking crazy psychopath, and Deadshot is just like, oh my fucking god, I'm so sick of this shit. And then Joker has a few appearances, although he's not part of the main squad, which is good. Joker should never be in the Suicide Squad. How did they make that mistake in the original 2016 movie? I can't get over how fucking dog shit that movie is. They fucking had Jared Leto play him too. Why Jared fucking Leto? Why? Why have fucking Morbius play Joker? I'm getting too worked up. I live in an apartment complex. I can't yell that loudly. I fucking hate 2016 Suicide Squad. It's so fucking dog shit. So like, at the very least, this isn't as bad as that, but it's also so fucking boring and forgettable. At least I can talk about how much the 2016 movie pisses me off. All I can talk about with this show is just how fucking nothing it is. Like, it's the Suicide Squad, but no one dies? Are you fucking shitting me? Doesn't that, like, completely destroy the point of Suicide Squad? And then, fucking... This is written by the same dude who wrote Re:Zero. Which was another thing that I forgot to mention. That was a huge part of what had me so hyped about this. Because, like, they got a goated writer with a goated studio with a goated music art. And a property that can be handled well, and they fucked it up. And it's like, how does the dude who wrote a light novel about a character dying every volume make a Suicide Squad adaptation with no deaths? Genuinely, how the fuck does that happen? Like, I'm planning on showing my IRL friends Re:Zero purely for the reason of I need to show them something that this writer made that is actually good. I can't let this be the only thing they think of him as. I think it's funny. The more I think about the series, the more it pisses me off. Because it could have been so good. I'm really close to giving it a 4 out of 10, honestly. I'm not quite gonna do that, but I'm actually gonna. I don't think this is C tier. This is like top of D tier. This is a really disappointing show. I had so much to talk about with it too. I think that might have been the longest segment of the entire video.
God.
ReZero Season 3 segment was pretty long too, though. I yap a lot.
Fair enough. We love yaps. That's why
Yeah.
we do.
But, alright, so I guess that's the end of the video, though. So, I gotta thank my Phantom tier patrons, Mystic Owl, Jesse, and Squizzy, and my Confidant tier patrons, Regid Mania, Plasma, and Eternum. If you want to support me financially, I have a Patreon page where you can pay a variable amount of money to get certain rewards. The Phantom tier for $3 a month is a 3 USD. Is for like general, like basic stuff, like video suggestions for the Uncut channel, Discord server access, the Patreon roll call. Confidant tier is pretty much mainly video related rewards. Gives you early access videos, exclusive videos, unlisted videos. And then the God tier gives you the Google Drive, and then the top patron role, which can be applied, which can give you a custom roll color for the roll call and the Discord server. So if anyone watching this video is interested in that, I don't think anyone watching this video is gonna make it far enough. But
If they do, then like,
yeah,
might
I
as
mean,
well,
like,
innit?
I definitely appreciate the extra money. It would mean a lot. Anyway, I thank you all for watching this video. This was a lot of fun. I always really enjoy making these.
Really fun, yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you guys all later.
Oh, it was a long one.